IslandGyalQ. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I got to have that Tiege pack. Tiege makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tiege Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tiege pack. Feel the Tiege, my friends. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Shout out to Tiege Hanley, sponsor of the video, sponsor of the live stream, sponsor of Anton Daniels and the Lapeef Network. We love you, Tiege. Thank you for continuing to rock with us. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all of my bag chasers. Thank you to my people. 30% off your first order, plus a free gift. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Link is in the description. Make sure you tap into Tiege. Do not delay. It is a phenomenal product. So thank you, Tiege Hanley, for continuing to rock with us. In addition to that, make sure you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow me on everything. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. And then turn on your notifications. So what's going on, family? It's Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. No fumbling of bags on a Friday. Let me emphasize once more, we are not going to be fumbling bags on a Friday, family, because we're going to be focused. I've created Fight Club, which that link is in the description for you to be able to tap in with us, because nothing happens after 12 on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night, except for you finding yourself in a situation where you, A, either regret that you spent too much money, B, you get taken advantage of for some chick for the streets, or C, you get into some confrontation or issues with somebody that you should not have been in contact with in the first place. So make sure that you join us at the Bag Chasers Fight Club tonight. And then last but not least, you know I love my Bag Chasers. You know I love my people. You know I love my people that we doing great things with. So in the Bag Chasers, in the Patreon group, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top. And the Bag Chasers, today, I am going to be making 2 posts. One is a Patreon exclusive video. The other is the actual link to the live stream that we will be utilizing tomorrow to make sure that we do our next meeting for Bag Chasers Building a Business. Let me say that one more time. Build a business. The link to the live stream, the Zoom call tomorrow, that will be posted along with the Patreon exclusive. So make sure if you got the Patreon app, make sure you turn on your notifications. If you look at it on a desktop or a mobile device, make sure that you tap it in. But either way, make sure that you signed into the Discord also, because although I don't like links being posted in the Discord, you are among a group of people that's actually doing the supportive work behind building a business, right? So we are building a brick and mortar, probably spending over $100,000 to be able to do it. I'm also building a new creative space. I'm taking y'all through that process. And more in immersive videos that's going to be coming in the Bag Chasers group. Again, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And you need to align yourself with a group of people that's going in a direction that you either want to go in or that you are going in and you can't find your tribe. We are your tribe. You are here for a reason. You did not run into me by an accident. There is not all of these supportive people. Look at them. You see them. Stephen Day, Yvette, Sabrina, Kojak, Natasha. There's so many different people every day. All of these great people. Heather. All of these phenomenal people on a regular basis. Louise, Phil. So many dope people for you to tap into. Tam, that can add value into your life and ensure that you are successful. And so one thing about me is that I'm always looking to do business with my family first. And my family are the Bag Chasers. So a lot of the different platforms, including Fight Club and a lot of the businesses that I wind up investing in and the contractors that I use and the people that I tap in with when I travel back and forth, I'm always trying to find out who is where first, because we are a army nation and worldwide that are doing great things. So amongst that, we do have the Patreon exclusive meetup next month. More additional details will be revealed with that. And then last but not least, in addition to the mastermind sessions and the live streams and things like that, we got the retreat that we're planning. And I want to give y'all enough runway, so that'll be next year. The retreat will be next year. It is going to be awesome. It is going to be a multi-day event. It is going to be speakers. It is going to be networking. It's going to be great food. It's going to be dancing, hopefully sand on the beach, white sand, all of that. And so it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. I am planning big things for my people and my bag chasers. And so why shouldn't I pour into the people that I love the most? All right. So again, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat for us to tap into the bag chasers. Last night was wild, wasn't it? You know, I used to do recaps of the Lapeef Network. I used to do recaps. And for some reason, one reason or another, there was a lot of like mixed feelings because I allowed other people to be able to voice their opinion about what they thought about the show. Now, people are going to have their opinion anyway. Why am I still holding this? This is the thing that I put my watch on. People are going to have their opinion anyway, right? And they're going to do their own reaction and review videos. And I was like, hey, why don't we have our own conversations based off of a person that was there in real time having these conversations with people? But it was wild. It was wild. And I think that as we continue to grow as a unit, as a network and things like that, I have to continue to figure out and work with the people that are a part of the network to figure out how it is that we put on the best product while also making sure that everybody is in a good mental space, because everybody is not built for content creation. I'm going to be honest with you, but a lot of us think that we are and we want to get into it. But we have to be careful. I got to make sure that I take care of my people. I got to make sure that I talk to the people to ensure that everybody is in a good space, really, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different environments, and we all got a different perspective about different subjects that we talk about on the panel. But let me take a step back for a second before we get into this Teyana Taylor video, because I wanted to do something a little bit more fun on Fridays. During the week, I'll be pounding y'all with all of this information and inflation and how you need to invest and reviewing money videos and things like that. So I want to do it a little bit more fun today. I want to make sure that, we can sit back, kick back, relax. I might even catch a flight today. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do. But shout out to Julius Jermaine. He says, can Q get a wrench, big dog? Oh, Q, you ain't got a wrench? Maybe it's because I got a bunch of channels. Let me make sure that Q got a wrench. What you mean Q ain't got no wrench? Q ain't got no wrench? That can't be right. All right, let me get Q a wrench. And then Q could have texted me and got that wrench. Let me make sure Q got a wrench. Let me see. I got to get a bunch of people a wrench. But I'll do that after the show probably. Let me get Jay a wrench. Thought Jay had a wrench. They say, Anton, you know you was loving the drama last night. You know what, Tony? Honestly, I like having great conversations. I genuinely do. I like having great conversations with people. But then at the same time, I'm very mindful of the idea that things can get out of hand because, as we know, and Anton is the forefather of things getting out of hand on the Lapeef Network. Things can get out of hand, and so I don't want things to spill out past the show, and so that's why I'm a little bit more focused on that. But let me pivot for a second, right? Because before we get into the whole Teyana Taylor thing, I ran across a TikTok video that Rita sent me, and I didn't watch it, and so Rita came back to me and she said, "Anton, what's up?" Oh, Heather, yeah, I got you. Give me a second, babe. People hit me up and they said, "Oh, Rita sent me the TikTok video and she said, Did you watch the string of videos that I sent you on TikTok and Instagram?" And I'm like, at first I was about to lie. And I was like, I checked them out. But then she gonna be like, "What'd you think about it?" You know how women do. And a lot of that stuff, I'll be like, I don't even know if that's anything that I even want to check out or anything like that. But Rita wants me to watch the videos, and so I did find one of them pretty entertaining, and it was of this young guy, and what was his name? Xavier CLB, and everybody was doing a reaction video to it, and he actually removed it from his TikTok, and basically he was like dressed like Carlton, which I was very much dressed like Carlton on the second day of the Lapeef event, but he was dressed like Carlton. You don't know who this is, Q? Q, we gonna have to get you. We're going to have to get you up to snuff on who this is with the perm. This is Kane. Kane from Menace to Society. You know, the one that stumped out Eileen's cousin? And then he was in Belly. He was in Belly, the movie with Nas DMX. Horribly acted movie, but very, very entertaining as far as how trash it was. And some of the parts. And so Kane was the dude that was out of town that the DMX and Nas and them was trying to come into town and make a lot of money as far as, with the drugs and all of that type of stuff, right? And when they were riding down the street in their car, he was like, he was eating his banana and he was like, "I don't like that. I don't like these niggas." Like he was kind of hating on them coming into the city and getting money, and he was talking about how he was going to snitch on them and drop a dime on them because he didn't like the fact that they was getting money in his city, right? And one of the things that I even noticed on not only with the TikTok last night or this morning that Rita was showing me, but also I was searching for a specific person in the chat. And so in the beginning of the show, I found them, I blocked them, and then I let it rock. And so the one thing that I am not doing anymore, is that I'm not letting the most egregious among you be able to voice their opinion on my platforms. Why should, one of the things that people always say to me on a regular basis is, "Anton, but we should be able to say what we want to say, and this is Fight Club." And there's one person that's different from the person that I blocked last night. He keeps emailing me, right? And he's actually, I'll tell you exactly who he is. He's the Emeka dude. He was a young guy that was from a different country, and he came up on my panel, and he was in his mother's basement in the dark room and all of this other type of stuff. And he was trying to tell me how I don't know how I should be moving accordingly, how he feels about money in a summary, right? But he was broke and he was young and whatever. And he is regularly on Fight Club and stuff like that. But every fucking single week, this dude emails me and he says, "Anton, I got blocked on Fight Club again." And I say, "Okay, well, what did you do?" And he say, "Oh, I was just criticizing this person and I was really, really going hard on him. But I'm sorry, it won't happen again." And then the next week he says, "Anton, I got blocked on Fight Club again." And I say, "Okay, well, what did you do?" And he say, "Well, I don't know what I did too wrong, but I was just voicing my opinion and all of this other type of stuff." And then the next week, this last time, he got blocked again. And he said, "Anton, I'm on Fight Club." And I said, "Rita, ignore his fucking email. Like, don't even listen to it. Because I don't have time to babysit people. I don't have time to deal with children." And last night, I seen another person that is regularly on some hater shit on a regular type junk, right? And I see them on Fight Club and I see them on the Millionaire Morning Show sometimes, occasionally. And then I see them on the Lapeef and they think that they safe, right? And so every time I see them, I go ahead and I block them from that panel or from that platform. And they think that just because they come in and they be chatting and shit that we supposed to be rocking with them. And I say, nah, fuck you. Right? Because at some point I hit a switch and I'm like, you know what? Enough, Mr. Nice Guy. Enough letting the most egregious people be able to say some of the foulest shit that they can say. And they think that just because they on YouTube that they can say what the fuck that they want and they can do it without consequence. Now, if we was in real life, you know, it's some little homies that I know that in real life. But why should people continue to let other people that don't have any kind of vested interest in their success and they don't want to see you successful, they don't want to see you happy, they don't want to see you win or anything like that, why do we have to always be the bigger person and let them say some of the most egregious shit just because we're nice people? And this is why I'm the darkest angel, because I'm unwilling to just let anybody say anything that they want to say when they want to say it and then get away with it just for the sake of trying to be objective or letting people voice their opinion, or because when you give people an inch, they take a mile. You say, okay, well, I'm going to let everybody have a voice and I'm going to let everybody jump on the panel and I'm going to let everybody say what they want to say because this is that and that is this. And then people say some of the most foul, egregious shit that I've ever seen in my life. Because they won't even just say it about me, right? They won't say it. They'll talk about your relationship. They'll talk about your spouse. They will talk about the bag chasers and then expect for me to be able to just deal with it. And I say, nah, listen, keep your mouth off my bag chasers. Don't ever say nothing about this one. Don't say nothing about this one. Listen, I did a review video on Lenny yesterday, right? I did a review video on one of my bag chasers because he was on CNBC fumbling the bag and making us look bad, right? Because he is a reflection of us. And no matter what nobody else say about him, he's still our brother and he's still a part of the bag chasers. So it's okay for us to hold him accountable, but not fucking you. You can't say nothing about Lenny. And if I see you in the streets and you say something about Lenny negatively, don't think for 1 second that it's going to fly. I'm going to put you in your place and I'm going to say, nah, listen, dude is a good dude, whatever, so on and so forth. Yeah, you can say whatever you want about the show itself, but as far as the people that I align with, when I say they family, it don't mean that they're not going to make mistakes. It don't mean that certain things ain't going to fly. It don't mean that people ain't going to see certain things that play out a certain type of way, but you fucking can't say what we do after the show and on the coaching calls and in the bag chasers and different conversation. I'll handle that, but you fucking can't say anything about my people because they my people. And that's just how we roll. Like it or love it, that's how we roll. It just is what it is. So when I see you, listen, it's best that you just hate and hit a dislike for the YouTube algorithm. When you see a video, we know you're going to be watching. We know you're going to be trying to soak up the game. We know you want to be a part of the bag chasers. We know that you a bitch in real life. And somebody got mad at me because I said that. They said, Anton, you said it twice yesterday. And I said, I meant what I said and I said what I meant. It is what it is. I said what I said and I meant what I meant. And then the people that talk the most egregious stuff, for some reason, they never show up in any city that I'm in. I'm at the Lapeef experience. I'm at every single city, every fucking weekend or every other weekend. And somehow, Harpo, where are these haters at? Still in their mama's basement. Still getting mad, typing Harvey on the internet. Because honestly, listen, I run into these people sometimes, and you know what they honestly say in real life? I rock with you, big dog. Yeah. Listen, I ain't agree with that one part, but listen, forget all of that. I love you, bro. And I'll be like, cool. I swear to God. Listen, I've been doing this for a long time. I am one of the OGs in this thing. And when I tell you that the only smoke that I ever had in my entire life was from somebody that I grew up with in real life that tried to set me up in Detroit, as far as content creation is concerned and people disagreeing with you, not one person in my entire life has ever said anything in a confrontational or in a disagreeable manner to me in real life. And so my question then becomes, why should we then, because I don't want no smoke in real life. I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, I'm 40. I got a daughter. I got a wife. I'm living my best life. I'm trying to build for the bag chasers. We get into this money. This ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and I'm using this as an example, what I'm saying to you is, if you can't do it in real life, which I'm not asking for you to, stay in your place, stay in your mama basement. We cool with that, right? Why would I let you get away with it online? And this is the sentiment that you guys are going to have to take in real life, because you're going to have to stop letting people scare you out of your blessings so many times. And in so many different instances, I see people moving based off of what they think people are going to think about them online. And I'll be like, listen, live and do what you want to do and stop acting scary. Why are y'all letting these people scare y'all out of y'all blessings? They hate you. They don't want to see you win. You think that if you acquiesce to whatever it is that they feel and do, that they're going to start liking you? They not. Listen, I've tested it. Shout out to Jerron, Uncle the Funk. My dog says, Grand Rising, a good early afternoon. Keeping on, brother. Thank you, Jerron. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Listen, I've tested the theory. And a lot of people say, well, Anton, he was going on this side of the fence and he was on this side of the fence because I wanted to see what the sentiment was. And let me tell you what the theory was. The theory was, on one particular show, I said, you know what? I'm a pivot. Because the last time I want to see what the sentiment is, right? And so I took one position one week, and then I took a completely different position the next week, which was the opposite. And you know what they did? They took the opposite position of whatever it was that I was on both weeks, which told me that they don't necessarily stand against what I'm saying. They stand against me. And if you stand against me, then that means that you're my enemy. And if you're my enemy, I want to destroy you. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. If you are my enemy, then that means that I want to see you gone from the platforms, and not only from the platforms, but if we competing in any area of life, listen, if you go off and you get your money and you do your thing, cool. But as far as being enemies, if you are an enemy of me, then that means that you have to try to destroy me. And if you have to try to destroy me, that means I have to defend myself. And in order to defend myself, I have to kill you. I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying to you. There are people, and I'm using myself as an example in order to illustrate a point, but there are people that oppose you no matter what you stand for, even if they agree with you, because they don't like you. They hate you. They hate your guts. They hate the very ground that you walk on. They hate your kids. They hate your life. They hate your success. Anything that you do good, they will be against it, and they're looking to tear it down. And these type of people need to not exist in any space ever, because they are disrupting and it's slowing down what it is that we're trying to do. And we're building Wakanda. We're building the environment where people can actually come and thrive and be successful and be free to live their greatness out without worry or care for somebody trying to tear them down. We need to eliminate them. They are the enemy. You know, the thing about it is they have a misconception, and I want to get into this Teyana Taylor thing. There's a misconception about God and Christians and Christianity and spirituality. And when you are an enemy of God, and there's countless examples in the Bible, he wiped out every aspect of who you are. Not only did he wipe you out, he wiped out your lineage. And he said, don't take nothing from them. Destroy everything and everyone right now. See, people have a misconception and a misunderstanding of what God was and what he represented. When God wanted something done, he got it done. He didn't even care if you changed your heart about it and said that, you know what? I want to move differently. He said, nah. I got a purpose for you, and your purpose is to be a piece of shit, right? And so even with Pharaoh, his heart was hardened. And even when he wanted to give in and he wanted to give the demands to and say, let the children, let the people go. Let them go. His heart was hardened multiple times just so God can show whatever miracles and whatever his greatness was. And reread the story. Reread the story. This is what I do for a living. I study. And then all I do is communicate what I'm already living. It's real. And so the misconception is that you can love somebody through their issues. And love sometimes is chastising people in order to illustrate. Listen, you may have to go so I can save his life over here. How many times do I let you destroy a little one? How many people do you have to influence negatively? How many people do you have to prevent from getting to the destiny that they're supposed to be at just because you a piece of shit? And how many times are we going to let the loudest people in the room have the biggest voices? And then it make it seem like everybody is a piece of shit, when in reality, they're just a stereotype. They're the person that's giving an impression to the rest of the world that we're all this way, and we're not. We're awesome. We're great. But at some point, you're going to have to cast out the leper. You're going to have to remove that bad apple because it's going to spoil the whole bunch. It is. It's rotten to its core. Most people can be loved through their issues, but some people are rotten to their core. There is no saving them. Their only purpose on this earth is to create chaos and destruction and destroy everything. You know, it was a scene in Batman, and then I'm getting into this Teyana Taylor thing. Thank you, Alaquandra. It says, giving my ties to the back chasers and me church. There was a scene in Batman, The Dark Knight. And I love this scene because Bruce Wayne was trying to figure out what the objective of the Joker was. Heath Ledger, greatest Batman of all time. I mean, the greatest Joker of all time, right? And he was talking to Alfred, and he was like, yeah, I need a stronger suit, and we trying to figure out what this Joker want. And Alfred was trying to get to Batman, and he said, listen, I don't really think you know what you're dealing with right now. He said, listen, and he gave him the story. He said, you know, it was some bandits, and they was out robbing the carriages and all of this other type of stuff. And they were getting jewels the size of tangerines, and they was finding them thrown on the side of the road. And Bruce Wayne asked him, and he said, why is that? And they said, because they didn't give a fuck about the money. They didn't give a fuck about the jewels. They didn't care about the stuff that they was robbing them for. They was robbing them just because they like robbing people. Some people want to see the world burn. Some people are just pure evil. And instead of us trying to actually root ourselves away from or rid ourselves from all of this chaos and evil and the people that actually want to hold you down, you want to spend your time getting your ass kicked from people that don't give a fuck about you. And the only reason that they there is because they miserable, they bored, they ain't got shit. And so they want to see everybody else miserable, bored, and don't have a shit. Rid yourself. Get up out of that. I've even made mistakes. Real talk. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm gonna tell you some of them. And some of y'all are familiar, and if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I've made mistakes. I've celebrated and embraced people, and the only thing that these in particular people was going everywhere and destroying my reputation with everybody that I had a relationship with. And I said, no more. And they said, Anton, why not? Listen, embrace it. Embrace the chaos. And I said, no. I want everybody to be well and to be loved. But the thing that I will not do is I will not let somebody come and stop the thing that I've been working for the last decade, come and remove everything in one fell swoop. All of the relationships, all of the money, all of the content, all of the greatness that we're doing. I'm not gonna let somebody just continue to remove, just destroy everything. That can't happen. And so you try to love them through it. If they don't do it, you remove it and you remove yourself from the situation. All right. E-Man Strong says, Anton, appreciate the priceless info you put out. You always have the best show on earth, big homie. God bless. Thank you, E-Man. I appreciate that. I really do. I genuinely appreciate you supporting the platform. Philip Sadiq, thank you for the 10 ball. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. You are much appreciated. Thank you to everybody that held me down. I want to have a little bit of fun on this Friday. No fumble the bag. Please, if y'all got paid yesterday or today, please don't fumble the bag. Don't do it. So let's pivot, ladies and gentlemen, now that we got our Friday session in motion. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is Teyana Taylor in the blue, in the greenish blue. Turquoise? I don't know. And Lori Harvey. Now, one thing that I know for sure, and two things is for certain, and this is just my preference, I have a thing for dark women. I do. That's my thing. I think anybody should be able to get in a relationship with anybody they want to get in a relationship with. But for me, my thing is dark women. I think, and respectfully, because I believe that Teyana Taylor is married to Iman Shumpert. I think Iman Shumpert is a sucker as far as him going to the airport and getting arrested for 6 ounces of trees at a Texas airport. Neither here nor there. I think that Teyana Taylor is quite possibly one of the most beautiful women that I've ever seen in my entire life. I think that this woman is like an exotic panther. But I also acknowledge the beauty that is Lori Harvey. But everything that glitters is not gold. And so when somebody sent me this whole interview thing that they did, and then they brought in a third woman, and I don't even know who that third woman is. Look at Kobe Jordan talking junk. I see you, Kobe. He says, we know you do, Anton. You be capping for Kayla. So y'all do realize that me and Kayla, I was the first person to ever get into it with and hold Kayla accountable on the platform. Y'all should go back and do y'all research. Listen. Just because I don't kill somebody on every subject, or I might agree with them on this or agree with them on this, doesn't mean that I agree with them on everything. And we have to be objective enough to actually acknowledge when somebody says something that we agree with. We can't live in an echo chamber to just disagree for the sake of disagreeing. If she says something that I agree with or I understand where she's coming from, I'm going to rock with it. I have to rock with it. Shout out to Jonathan Jaghammer. Jonathan Jaghammer says the great culling will come. It's time to separate the chaff from the wheat. Shout out to Jonathan Jaghammer. Been always rocking with me, holding me down. And Yvette, you know I love you. Sending love and shout out to the bag chasers. Shout out to my bag chasers. I think all of the ladies. Now, I will say that I have a bias on the panel, and it's for Q, right? So even when Q is on there, I'll be looking to protect Q from herself. I'll be sending her text messages like, hey, stand down on that one. Because I got a bias, right? That's my little sister. So I got to make sure. So I have a bias for Q. Q does plenty wrong, but can do no wrong in my eyes, if you know what I mean, right? Q is like the little sister that you get caught planting the flower, and you know that if the parents come home, that she gonna get a little whooping. So you go ahead and clean up all of the flour and act like she ain't do nothing, and I might even take the L myself. That's what Q is. Q is the bad little sister that I've never had. All right? Look at her. Being bad already. So I have a bias for Q because that's my baby. That's my baby girl. But Teyana Taylor, let's get back to what we're talking about. I do have a bias, Kobe. I do have a bias. I love Bella. I love all of them. I love the dope women that actually is super awesome. They do. But Teyana Taylor, I think that Teyana Taylor is probably one of the most beautiful women ever. It's just my thing. And then Lori Harvey. Everybody is familiar with what's going on with Lori Harvey. So I believe that it's important. And I have not watched this video. The only clips that I've seen is the small little tiny clips that JR played last night. And it wasn't even of Teyana Taylor and Lori Harvey talking. But I want to go ahead and review this video. It's a fun Friday. We can switch it up a little bit, see what's happening in the streets. We're going to talk about it a little bit on Fight Club tonight. All right, Terrell, have a nice day. Sly White says, oh, Lord, talk about the chocolate women. They're gorgeous, ain't they? And then Jordan Smith says, shout out from the truckers for this daily knowledge. You're welcome, my friend. Make sure y'all join the Bag Chasers. The Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. If you need to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. Also, I'm dropping again 2 updates today in the Patreon. One that gives you the link to the live stream for Build the Business tomorrow, and then the other is a Patreon exclusive. So shout out to Sir Shah, says Anton, driving through downtown Detroit. Sir Shah, what do you think as you drive through downtown Detroit? Give me your honest opinion of what downtown Detroit look like. All right, so let's get into it. All right, without further ado.
You know, what I wanted at 21, I don't want at 25.
Right.
I don't even know her anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know who she is. Because she's not here anymore.
She's not.
This is who we're dealing with today.
What's up, y'all? Welcome.
All right, so let me fast forward this.
Got my little Bumble Q card. I'm dead. Okay, so what was one of the most...
Yeah, Connie, I agree. I agree, Connie. It's like, okay, so now you want us to know that you're leaving. Okay, cool, because you don't want to hear what modern women got to say. Thank you very much. You could have just hit the close button and go ahead and went about your way. But people want us to know, oh, okay, please don't leave. No, do whatever the fuck. Go. Nobody's stopping you. You are 100%. I was thinking the same thing, but you said it, so I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge it. Let's continue.
Important flags, red or green, that you looked for upon meeting someone. Red or green?
Okay, let's go. Green, I would say just like transparency and like openness, communication, not trying to beat around the bush or act like you want something that you maybe really don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like really you got 20 other people that you're entertaining. Like it's like, you know, just be open and honest about what it is, what you're doing, because then I feel like that gives you an opportunity to make a conscious decision about what you want to do.
Right, because we might be on the same wave.
Yeah.
So please.
Wait a minute. She says the green, okay, she said red or green flag, give me both. She said the green flag was that she used to beat around the bush. And even though she was possibly entertaining 20 other people, unwilling to say what she was really thinking and what she wanted. Did I just hear that correctly? Did I miss something? Can I rewind that part really quickly? I'm going to just go back 30 seconds.
Someone. Red or green?
Okay, let's go. Green, I would say just like transparency and like openness, communication, not trying to beat around the bush or act like you want something that you maybe really don't. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like really you got 20 other people that you're entertaining. Like it's like, you know, just be open and honest about what it is, what you're doing, because then I feel like that gives you an opportunity to make a conscious decision about what you want to do.
Right, because we might be on the same wave.
Yeah.
So please.
Wait a minute. Did she say 20? 20 other people that you might be entertaining? Come on, man. I understand Afro pop fitness. I know you're going to be caping for. I'm listening. I listened to it twice. I understand that she was saying being direct. But being direct with 20? Not 20. Give me 2. Don't multiply it times 10. Not 20. Azriel, ooh, the women is in the trap today. Okay, she's saying if you entertaining 20 other people, be honest about it. All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Sir Shah says the stereotypes about Detroit are not true. Money, technology, science, and entertainment is coming back to the city. I'm by the Fox Theater now, and it's gorgeous there. Shout out to you, Sir Shah. Thank you, my friend. So listen. I know that she's exaggerating, and I know she's saying it in order to emphasize a point. She's saying that, listen, if you're talking to 20 other people, just be real about it, right? But ladies, I don't know if y'all notice, but some things should not be said. I know we own YouTube. I know it's for the platform. I know all of this other type of stuff, but some examples from you guys shouldn't be used. I'll give you an example, right? Completely hypothetical, but this is how egregious it is that I can use this as an example in order to illustrate my point. I'll be like, if I go on the platform and I say, listen, I don't care if I like to get, I don't even want to say it because it just like, it's so egregious that I can't even use it as an example for myself. You know what I'm saying? Let me use somebody else. I'm going to use somebody else. If a guy goes on a platform, because I'm not about to do this with me, because I don't even get into that. If a guy goes on a platform and he says, I mean, for real, man, I mean, if I like to get pegged, then so what? That's just how I feel. Okay, we get what you're trying to say. We get that you're not trying to use yourself as an example, right? Because that's not what you do. But sometimes it's almost like, okay, pause, homie. You ain't even got to say that part. Like, we know you like getting your groceries tossed, homie. But like, don't say it out loud, even to use it as an example to illustrate a point. Ladies, y'all oversharing, and oversharing is not caring. You're oversharing even in your examples, because your examples is an illustration similar to how you think and how you move. You see what I'm saying? But 40 boom. Oh, nah, cuz. Oh, and why would a man, even let's say she's using it on the other side, why would a man ever say something like that? Like, why would a man, listen, I believe in 100% honesty, but don't ever tell a woman that you're talking to 20 other chicks. Because A, you capping, even if you are. And then B, just be like, listen, I'm just not looking to get into a relationship, or I'm not really serious about anything right now. But don't sit here and ever say how many people that you're talking to or how many people you've been with. Come on, y'all. Let's be right. Meijer's dope. Got all my Walmart needs there. Meijer is more of a Midwest thing. It is a Midwest thing.
Help yourself.
Cut the games.
Just cut the
games.
Okay, so if you had a red, what would it be?
I would say
that was the green
if
flag.
you're too close to your exes, that's a red flag. Like,
cordial, cool.
Cordial.
If you're too close to your exes, that's a red flag. I don't want y'all to have
beef yet, okay? Because then that gets messy.
So how would you take it if it was genuine? Nah. You know, yeah, it's like,
it's not adding up for me.
It's not. Because I feel like if y'all gonna be that level of close, then we don't need to be doing this. Like, y'all should still try and probably figure that out or work that out.
Yeah, then also too, it's like, on the flip, how would you feel? Are you cool if I'm still cool with my exes?
And that's my thing. Don't dish what you can't take.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not-
what makes women think that it's equal on both sides? I'm curious. Look at Q. Go ahead, Q. Get yourself together. You know, I gotta pull you in on this one. Get yourself together. Get yourself together, Q, and get ready to cam up, because Q, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You are wronger than two left shoes, Q. You're wrong. You're wrong. I just dropped the link in the chat. I think that there are double standards and that there should be double standards. I do. I think that there are double standards and that there should be double standards. Look, of course, Heather is with you, Q. Heather said, I'm with you, Q. Sir Shaz says, Lori, leave Michael B. Jordan alone. You had your chance. It's not equal. I think that men can get away with things that women can't. And then on the flip side, women can't get away with things that men can. And I'm going to tell you why, for example, in this illustration, right? For example, let's say that a woman is friends with her ex. Women often at times, and I've mentioned this before, put men in the friend zone prior to men being able to have access to them, right? Because a man, their instinctive nature is still to hunt, even if they are your friend in most instances, right? And we talking about in a general sense, right? So let's say you got two single people, and the guy and the girl is friends, but we know that that's not really true, because more often than not, the man got friend zoned, because if he had the opportunity to bust her down, he would. Oh yeah, we're gonna get all the ladies in line tonight. Sway says, I'm going to have to pour one out for the dead homies on this one time. These chicks' lives be too exposed for the internet. A walking red flag. I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you, Sway. You are absolutely correct. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get y'all in here today. Yep. Watch this. Ladies is off as usual. Let me get my ladies in here. Let me remove myself. I'm gonna put y'all on the side of Lori Harvey. Don't worry. I'm putting y'all on Lori's side. Q is wrong. Q is wrong. And Afro Pop is wrong. Afro Pop is wrong. All right. So let me get the ladies in here really quickly. Let me get Q. Q. Hi, Q. How are you doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? Q, why can't exes be friends? Okay, let me revise this. Why can't guys be friends with their with the ex that they had?
They're an ex for a reason, right?
They're an ex just because it just didn't work out with regard to the relationship, not necessarily because.
Okay, maybe because I'm thinking about, I know how women can be sneaky, right? Women might call on their ex. Oh, I got something wrong in the household. No, call your daddy. Call
They don't
your
have no
friend.
father.
Call your friend. Find a homeboy that's a friend. Call your brother. Maybe because I block exes, I don't believe in swinging the block. I don't believe in going back to exes. I feel like you don't need to be friends with your exes because they're an ex, right? Because you always hear these women say or men say, "Oh, he's just a homeboy," but y'all done screwed. Y'all done screwed. That's not a homeboy.
But you're
That's not
missing it though, Q, because okay, I'll give you an example. The way that guys are with women after they have sex is different than the way that women are with guys after they have sex. Like
men spend.
we could be listen, we don't care. Guys are in the friend zone in the beginning, and then girls are in the friend zone after y'all have sex.
Men will spin the block on their exes. They will message them on their birthday. They will message them on Instagram. Hey, big head, how you doing? How's your nieces? How your family? Like, women might see the same thing. Women are very territorial, especially when it comes to if they see a man has moved on with someone that's prettier. Women might just hit the man up, seeing if they still got it in them, right? So why even have that space still open for a man or a woman to do that? Let's just be honest. That's how
So you
healthy it
don't
is.
think that you don't believe that that either one could be friends after a relationship?
It can, but why? You guys even say it on here. Why does a woman need man friends? And vice versa. Why?
No. I'm saying, but that's a different context, Q. That's a
If
completely
you're
different
saying
context.
okay, if you're saying that that's a different context, why the heck does someone need to be friends with someone that they've been sexually interacted with? No, that's far worse
I
than
don't
just
think
a
so.
homeboy. Or you don't think that's worse?
Because I
So
mean, it's not a thing. Like you can bust a chick down and not even think twice about it afterwards. Like it ain't a thing.
but you said an ex,
Yeah.
right? You said an ex. As y'all say, men go through it worse when it comes to breakup, which I don't believe in.
So if me
Men
and
want
Rita
to.
was to get divorced, you don't think that that's always gonna be my homegirl, and that whoever comes into my life is going to have to deal with Rita?
Okay, y'all situation is different,
No,
right?
Q. No, you can't flip it. You can't
Oh, y'all
flip it.
situation is different, but it is not normal, like in y'all situation, to where a man. Well, y'all have kids together, so y'all are going to have to
Let's see,
co-parent
gonna be
if y'all.
grown in a few years.
Okay, she'll be grown. But in normal situations, men like you would not be having their ex-wife still be around. If your next girlfriend will come around, she is going to feel a way that your ex-wife is still involved in your life. She will have a problem.
That's okay
Most
though,
women will have a problem
and
with
she just gonna have to deal with it though. That's just what comes along with it.
that. Okay.
That's what comes along with being in a relationship with me is that Rita's gonna be there. And so we all gonna have to get along, or you gonna have to leave because Rita is the homie.
Yeah, but that's a lot of women will have a problem with Rita
Well, then that
because
means that they're
one, y'all
not the
had
one. They just not the one. They're gonna have
true.
to get over themselves, and they'll get over it. I think that they'll get over it.
I
I
mean,
think that
yeah,
they're
I mean,
willing
a
to get
lot of
over it.
women will get over a lot of things if it has a dollar price to it. But let's just be honest, a lot of women won't be happy, especially if it's another woman that you have history with. History.
Mm-mm.
Why can't you move on? There's so many girls out there, so many guys. You don't need your ex as a friend. I'm sorry. If you need
Yes,
someone
I
to talk to,
do,
get it there.
because we were friends
No,
first.
wait. I'm not talking about you and Rita. I'm talking about in general. If you're not married and that's an ex, let that be an ex. If, as I said, if you need someone to talk to go talk to a therapist.
I
Like I
don't
don't.
prefer. Well, let me just read this, and I'm gonna come to you, Afropop. I'm gonna come to you, love. Um, Africo Pop. Is that what it is? I want to make sure I get your name right.
I
Africo
got it.
Pop. I don't
Yeah.
want to say Afro Pop.
Hmm.
Africo Pop. Azriel says, Anton, you had a whole ex who flipped on Rita when you put them on the phone together. But we were
Exactly.
only like, what, 20, 21. At 40, I think that I'm different than I was. And even Rita is different than we were 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's a completely different conversation. So go ahead, Africo Pop.
Well, to Q's point, I think that the main concern is that y'all had, particularly for women, we know how we are. If the relationship didn't, it even if that, how regardless of the relationship end, if we feel like we're still cordial towards our ex, and we have no one in the back of our minds, you're going to think that possibly this woman can be plotting to be back with my current man who is their ex. And what I can say about exes, like, there's no problem being cordial, but I only had two serious relationships before I got married. The first one, I don't know where he is, and the second one, he's passed. So there's
The
no
first
real
one
reason.
where?
The first one, I don't. He's somewhere in Houston. I don't know where he's at, but he's
He
somewhere.
going after Q. He chasing
You never
Q.
go. I don't go outside.
Maybe so, but I mean, and the second one has died. So there's really no, and you know this, Anton, as being married, whoever you have immediate communication with and business with, those are the people you don't have a lot of time for so many additional people in your life. So I mean, I have my husband, my extended family, people from work that I know, and then my core best friends, and that's it. There's no one really that I would call a friend that I would go and kick it with, particularly a man.
But I don't really kick it with dudes like that. Persevere Data TV said when she spin the block, I hit her with the "you tough, right?" I don't believe in I don't hang with dudes like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a dude that hang with dudes. I prefer uh beautiful, sensible, cool, relaxed,
But you
like
also,
having fun type of women, and that's how I am in real life. Like, if anybody's ever met me in real life, they've ever been in a meetup, they've never been in an experience, I am the type of dude that love being around women. That's my
but you
thing.
also love your wife though, and you give your wife that respect. Like no woman is
Correct.
gonna.
But here's the thing though. Most women that were Rita, or most women that are in a position of Rita, they would operate and be jealous.
That is true,
True.
but
You'll be jealous.
the
You'll be
reason,
jealous.
but part of the reason why Rita is not jealous because she knows her man and she knows what y'all have. You know, a lot of
But
other
y'all should know
situations.
y'all man and know what y'all have too. If y'all worried about him going and talking to an ex, then it's the same thing, right? How
I
don't y'all know what y'all man? How don't y'all trust y'all man? Listen, if you
no, I
can't
trust
trust
my
your
man
man
because
to
he don't
go
like
out,
nobody.
no, you.
We
But
don't
listen
trust
to what you
women.
said though, Africa Pop. You said you trust him because he don't like nobody.
No,
What if
I
he
mean,
was cool with everybody?
even if he was cool, if he was cool with everybody, I still trust him
You
because
would
of the
be
quality of man.
apprehensive.
No, I would
Yes,
still
you
trust him
would.
because of the quality of man he is. I wouldn't trust them. It's not him who I'm worried about. It's the women who I've witnessed have been
I'll give you an
either.
example. I'll give you a perfect example. Teyana. I don't know if you remember her, Q, but she was a short girl that was at the Lapeef experience. I think she had on like a red dress. She was real cool. I don't know if you remember. She was a shorter girl, and she was having a conversation with me on the wall and all of that. And matter of fact, she came in when we were recording Thursday night, and she was sitting at the table with Rita. Do you remember her? She was actually sitting and talking with Rita when we were
Yeah,
recording.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Your ex. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember
That
her.
was one of that's one of I talked to her 20 years ago.
But that's 20 years ago. These
But my
exes are
But
point
how
not
but my
20
often do
point
you
years.
is
talk to
that
her now?
when I but D is my dog. She can still hit me up today. Like I seen her at a day party. You know what I'm saying? We would kick it. We didn't hung out on the rooftop. Rita wasn't there, but all of the homies and all of the everybody else was there. She flew out to Houston and kicking it. And her and Rita is real cool. They take pictures. Everybody is cool. I don't have those issues. I don't have issues with people.
But Anton, that's an ex from 20 years ago. That's a difference.
Well, I
These
mean, I've
people
been
we're
married for
talking about.
almost. I've been married for 18, so I can only have an ex from 20 years ago.
Exactly. So these exes we're talking about are exes that are 5 years, that are a year, 2 years, that are more recent, more feelings. And what we're saying is that we know how women are, right? We know women are. That's why I don't have a lot of women friends.
Yeah, but
I'm
it
okay with
don't
not having
matter what
women
women
friends
are because
because
if
they're
it's the
sneaky.
guy, it take two of us to tango. It take two of us to even do anything. So why? Listen, if when Rita go out, right? Rita went out. She just ran to the post office. She's doing a bunch of stuff right now. Probably going out to eat. Who cares? Do you think that I ever check to find out where she is or checking for her or whatever like that? You think I'm worried about if when we go out and if we run into somebody that was an ex from high school or some kind of crap like that? Do you think I care even a teeny bit? We were on a plane because I canceled her flight to Houston. I mean to Atlanta. Remember Q? I canceled her. And we was sitting in like for some reason they had us on this jumbo plane that had the 3 rows, and she was sitting completely in a different section than I was. And when she was walking off the plane, it was a guy that was talking and having a conversation with her, and I wasn't tripping about that. I didn't think even a little bit about it. I didn't care.
Anton, is there a singular woman that you speak to daily besides your wife?
No, because I just don't kick it with people like that. Yeah, well,
And that's the
sometimes I might talk to Q every once in a while, like a couple days in a row.
Yeah, but it's been the thing I'm saying, my friends I talk to pretty frequently. So I wouldn't call an ex. I don't have any animosity towards an ex. It's just that the frequency that they're in my life is not the same as what I would actually call a friend.
Hmm. Let me get Oz in here, and then I'm gonna continue to play the video. Let me add one more in here, and let me move away a little bit. Give me a second. Y'all just insecure. That's all it is. Y'all just insecure, and it's unfortunate that y'all are this way because I don't want y'all to be insecure.
Anton, you know you're the exception and not the rule, right?
No, I think that anybody can do it if they discipline enough, but I think that y'all just insecure. Hold on, let me move this around. Let me get the tall joint. All right, I'm gonna bring Oz in. I want to bring another guy because maybe I'm off. He might think a little bit differently. I'm gonna leave a spot open for you too, Q. What's going on, Oz?
Hey, how's it going?
Chilling, my friend. What do you think? Hold on. Well, let me read the super chat. It says, "You want to get with me? I have the life and opportunities that you want to be a part of. You don't get to put stipulations on situations that existed before I even knew you. You can't control this. I 100 agree with you, Spaces. You are 100% correct. What's your thoughts, Oz?
So,
Let me roll this down.
first of all, I don't necessarily relate because I've never had an ex.
I'm
So
sorry.
much. I said I don't directly relate to the
What do you mean you've
situation
never had
because
an ex?
I've never had an ex. I married my first girlfriend.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty impressive. How old were you when you got married?
I was 30. We dated for about 8 years before I got married.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
and most of that was long distance. About 3 years in
All right,
person.
now you got me
Yeah.
curious. What's going on here, buddy?
What's going on where?
Wait. You said you dated a chick and she was your ex? I mean, you dated her for 8 years?
Yeah, before we
So
got
you
married.
met her in college or something?
Yeah, we met in college. Her brother was a friend of mine from high school, so that's kind of how we
Got it.
met.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
So I think the whole I can sympathize with the whole quote unquote jealousy thing because a lot of folks who get involved in this types of situation, don't they don't move on clean, right? So it's not okay, an amicable breakup or whatever. It's one person wanted to stay and the other person was kind of out. So typically the one who wanted to be out would probably be fine. The one who wanted to stay is potentially more susceptible to going back if that person hollers back in their life. And so the person's spouse or significant other or whatever, depending on the level of trust that they have for the person, may have a reason to be concerned. Um, and that's just the reality. We know that the ideal situation is, when you're in a marriage with a person,
Why do
you're
y'all
fully
care so much
focused,
about
and
what the
that is
other
what it
person
is.
is doing? Do y'all really be checking for y'all spouse to make sure that they on the up and up and being concerned depending on?
It's not a matter of y'all checking up on your spouse or whatever. It's, do you trust the person in the first place? So really what it amounts to is one of two things. It's either one, your spouse potentially has in the past given you reason to not consider them to be trustworthy, and so based on that, whether it's an ex or whether it's just a random coworker, because of whatever experience that your significant other has put you through, you're concerned from that. Or the second option is you as a person are just you're just a hurting person, or just there's just something fundamental that you have as a person have to get over.
So let me read some of these super chats, and then I want to play some more of this video. Carl Oakley says, you don't sweat it because Rita's morals and values are biblically based, but if you were married to Corinne Steffens, you probably would think different, bro. Well, that's the key. I would never marry Corinne Steffens because I would never move with a chick that I don't feel like that I can't trust. So if I marry you, then I know that I believe that you trust, that I trust you. So and I appreciate the super chat, but this is a zero-sum game because I would never advise a guy to marry Corinne Steffens. Why would a guy ever put himself in that position? Jordan Smith says, same reason men avoid single moms, exes, and them guts forever. Well, if you can't handle her, then don't even be with her. That's my thing. Don't be with somebody that you don't feel like you can 100% trust. Yarly Moy says, Anton, I rock with you, bro. I rock with you, but bro, you be living in your own world. I'm not cool with none of my exes, and my girl better not be cool with none of their exes. Listen, I respect it. I'm trying to understand it because I do live in my own world. I agree with you. I've come to realize in this internet space, as I've had conversations with Q and other people, that apparently Anton from AntonDaniels.com is living in a completely different metaverse, right? Kobe says, being a man who's diligently seeking greatness, you can't be around average men who are complacent. Jealousy and envy has committed many murders. I agree, Anton. Can't be around lots of men chase greatness. I don't spend my time. I do have a network of guys that I tap into and I hang with occasionally and stuff like that, but I don't spend a lot of time around a lot of guys like that. Let me play a little bit more of this clip.
I feel that. Okay, well, on a more positive note, what make you feel powerful, like when dating?
Not compromising my values and like my standards and my requirements.
Yeah.
I think it just also depends too, like where you guys are at in that stage of the relationship, because sometimes like you got to just make sure you're giving it to the right person. I think that's important, because it's like when you start giving it to the wrong person, it's going to like drain you.
But then when you know it's the right person, because everybody have on a mask in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So like overall, like what stage of dating do you feel like you start seeing people's true colors? That's the even better question. Because what if you blocking your blessings? What if you, see, that's the thing. We talk about like following us, following our heart, following that feeling, but at the same time, have a whole bunch of requirements on what a person should be. So how do we know like which ones are like, am I being too harsh or am I being?
Well, I think like there's some superficial requirements that like, okay, we can kind of, you can cut down on those. You can compromise on some of those, because it's like, okay, that's not really important. If it's somebody who's genuinely like a really good person, they care about you, they have your best interests at heart, then I feel like, okay, we can compromise on some of those things. But I think like as long as you're not compromising on like your core values and beliefs and like
that's it.
What do y'all think about this so far? Do y'all disagree with anything that she's saying, that Lori Harvey is saying?
I just would like to understand in more detail, what does she mean by values and standards?
I'm assuming that is whatever it is that you on an individual level, right? Like, for example, I know that some people's values and standards are from a guy's perspective, they don't want a chick that's been with a lot of dudes, right? Or they may say, hey, I want to be spiritually connected to you, and you can't be a person that's a Muslim versus a person that's a Christian, right? Or I'm unwilling to talk to a specific type of guy that live a certain lifestyle because I don't smoke, so why should I be around somebody else that's smoking? I'm just throwing out a bunch of different examples just to illustrate or to try to speak to whatever it is that she's highlighting, right? If and I don't know what her values and standards are, but I guess that what she's saying is that she's standing on her square and whatever it is that she's feeling. If it compromises that, then I'm not going.
Well, I just wish there would be a bit more like an example or context, because she could say her standards are, I need someone who's 6'3" with 100,000 or is a
Well, she says
millionaire.
she's willing to compromise off of that if they have the right sentiment, they have your best interest at heart, and all of that other type of stuff. That's what she said in the beginning.
So when I hear people talk about standards and having standards, a lot of times when in principle I agree with the concept of, okay, you need to have certain standards, you need to not compromise from them, and so on and so forth. But then when they go a bit deeper in the conversation and start telling you what those standards are, it's all messed up. They're talking about sexual stuff, right? They're talking about
I don't know. You tell me.
They're talking about how tall the person is, or what color, what complexion, what race, and so on and so forth. And they're just kind of way off. They should be focusing more on character related stuff. And
so you saying that women should not be
rare.
focused on anything related to the physical? It should all be almost 100% focused on character.
No, what I'm saying is, so there should be a difference between a preference in terms of what attracts you, because at the end of the day, something is going to attract you to someone.
Right.
You like you said it earlier in the chat. You prefer darker skinned folks and stuff like that. So people will have their preferences. They prefer tall people, they prefer skinny people, they prefer thick people, whatever. That's fine. But that's not what they should be talking about when they're talking about standards. When they're talking about quote unquote standards, they should be talking about character related stuff. Is there a propensity to violence in this person? Is there a propensity to deception in this person? Is there a propensity to overspending and not being responsible with their resources and their time? Do they have a job? Are they, what's their work ethic like? Stuff like that. They're never talking about stuff like that. Very rarely.
What do you think about that, Q?
No, I think that's definitely right. In society now, you hear a lot of women saying, "Hey, I want a man that's 6 feet, six figures, six peen." So, and then when they get with that person, they realize that man is a psychopath, or he's very manipulative, or he has mental trauma, or so it's like I think that we as women, we need to. I mean, the older we get, I feel like we realize, hey, is more to it than a man that's got a big schlong. Like, where's the man that can listen to understand? Where's the man
Schlongs
that's
matter.
Honestly, when I hear that, when I hear that stuff, it's
you don't think so,
wild.
Q? Schlongs don't matter.
I mean, sex is
wait,
not.
what?
Schlongs.
I think schlong.
It's not the most important. No,
it's not, and I feel like it's not, because
is it important? Maybe not the most important, but is it important?
it's the cherry on the sundae.
Is it important?
It's important, but it's the cherry on the sundae. It's not the most important piece, but it's
I'll
important.
take a loyal, honest man than a man.
I'm not going on this one. Nope.
No, but to the point.
Here's the problem with that, though. The problem with that is it's a concern if you have a bunch of stuff to compare it to, and that's where the problem lies, right?
No. Listen. Even if you don't have a bunch to compare it to, when bad schlong is bad schlong. Maybe he hasn't monster mashed you. Maybe you haven't been exposed to certain things. But even you just existing in society today and you having friends or you having an internet or being able to observe different conversations, people are getting exposed or they're getting ideas of what is available and what's happening out here in the streets. We're not living in a bubble anymore. Right. And so people are aware
to sustain a relationship. Long enough
Exactly.
is not enough because I've had
I didn't say it
girlfriends
was
who have,
enough. I said, is it important?
okay.
Is it important?
And I said it's important, but I forgot the other brother's name, but but the thing I never hear where women say value and standards, and I don't know if this is important to Laurie or not. It wasn't really, she didn't really say too much, but like I want a man with a good heart. I want a man who has a heart for his community, who wants to uplift, who's good with children, who I when I hear about this list of
I don't
women and the
believe
things
it.
that they want.
I don't believe it. I don't believe
What?
it. I do
I
not believe
I
it.
I
I have
I don't
never
see
heard a
this.
woman, when you ask her what does she want in a man, she says, I want a man with a good heart for the community and he
Yeah,
uplifts
yeah.
people
I'm saying
and
I
he's a
don't hear
nice
that.
guy. Correct.
Yeah,
And I don't believe that that's important when it comes to people.
but
No,
you
a
know
I
man
think
what?
that
that's
I think that that's a cherry on top.
no loyal, honesty with integrity, is respectful, that's humble, with good character is way more important to me than a schlong.
But you're right. But to Anton, to your point, you are right. You are right because people chase what is surface level and what is superficial, and when they get that, they don't want to get the other things that come with it. Yeah, he can have those muscles. He can be fine. He can be 6'2". He can have $100,000 and more. But then also he has more options. He can do. He can mess with whoever he wants to mess with. You're not the only option, so you cannot have it both ways. And then at the end, a lot of women get hurt because they're
Listen,
chasing the
and I'm not even
superficial.
saying that it has to be humongous. Like you ain't got to be Lexington Steel or nothing like that, right? I'm saying that your performance in the bed matters, whatever that looks like.
I'm not saying it don't, but I'm just saying it's not the most important thing.
It shouldn't be the driver for your long-term decision.
I
Is
agree, it shouldn't be the driver, but I think that it's important.
It is
It is
important.
important.
Absolutely.
We all agree.
Listen,
It's
all
top
of this
10
stuff.
Q
still.
don't agree with that.
What
It's
people
top
people who
10
people
important.
Q do
people
not
who
agree with
say
that.
Maybe because I dated a man with a small peen and we made it work. So
But okay, was he willing to satisfy you in other ways?
exactly, and that's what I said. It depends
Right.
what comes with it. If you got a small peen and you a hoe and you a liar and you not mentally there and your character is horrible, no, you can go to the left because you got too many reds. No. Now if you a man that is on his purpose, that good great character, that's humble, that knows how to treat women, that's loyal, that's honest, that's goal driven, and you got a peen, we us as women, we can work with that. There's so many things out there that can add on to your sex life to where it's still enjoyable.
So true.
I mean, that's cool, but all I'm saying is sex is important.
it is
For
absolutely.
overwhelming
So true
majority of
too.
people, sex is an important factor. I don't know about what the size is and all of that. All I know is sex is important.
It is.
I mean, but we got to be realistic. We're not all of us are gonna. The average peen size is 5 inches in America. So,
No, it
ladies,
can't be. That's
it
impossible,
is.
Q.
I looked at the stats. Oh, I pull it. Look at the stats. Let's just be honest, ladies. We're not all gonna find a
Wait,
mandango
wait, wait,
nine.
wait, 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 wait. Is that accurate, Q? Seriously?
Yep.
I think 5.5 to 6. Yeah.
So,
And
okay,
yes,
wait.
Who's
Is
doing
that
all this
while they
measuring?
hard, or is that just like in general?
I'm gonna look it up.
Who's doing the measuring, or is it self-reported?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Well,
Yeah,
let me read some of these.
I
Let me
wouldn't
read.
trust those
Y'all.
numbers.
Hold on, y'all. Let me read some of these super chats.
Correct. In 2019, research article notes that the most males below believe the average length or erect penis. It's 6 inches. Now it's 6 inches.
Oh, because I don't know. Let me read some of these super chats. Spacer says Lori Harvey will be on Cocktail with Queens, Cocktail with Cougars, season 15. Jesus Christ. Carl Oakley says most people don't even know what their standards and values are. That is a fact. That's why the media is telling you what the standard is, and the peen corrupts a made up mind. Is that true? That good deed can corrupt a made up mind?
A made up mind.
It
Basically, a
could do
person that
so
feels
to.
like they know what the standards are, or operating based off of a standard, but then they get that peen and then
Yep.
move the
That's how they'll be
goalpost.
Well,
going
It
crazy.
It can
No,
do
if
temporarily, but you have to go back to your home base, which is your
no.
that to Carl's point, if you don't know what your values and standards are, and a lot of people don't, you can be moved either way. So to that point, if you do
Even
have
if
good
you
feet, it's
do
like,
know
okay,
it
well, this is
though,
what I.
and somebody change your life, does that change the narrative?
Well,
So
then
here's
you
the
you
thing,
always
right?
have to come back home. It's like the prodigal son. He thought that, ooh, give me my riches, and I go off. But then he had to, he eventually had to come back home. Just like train the child in the way that they should go, and when they get old, they shouldn't depart from it. So yes, we all make slip ups. We all make mistakes. We all go through a certain phase. But in your core, you should always be able to come back home.
Marcel says lots of cigs, less marriages. I guess the men aren't monster mashing. The Uncle Tom says I can be around my exes and my wife can be around, but around here, but both of us never really had good mutual breakups with exes. I intentionally burned bridges. Shout out to Uncle Tom. He said they lying, Tom. They lying on y'all. Boys to Kings Network says I think Lori Harvey will end up like Nicki Minaj. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. All right, let me continue to play this video.
Okay. Describe how taking control improves the overall dating experience.
I think you'll just be happier at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm very much in a space right now where I'm not doing anything that's going to compromise my peace and happiness.
Period.
So I think just taking control, making sure you maintain your power, don't give your power away to anybody. That I feel like is the key to truly being happy in or out of a relationship.
What's one thing you know now that you wish you knew sooner? I ain't doing this with you. Chill.
You know.
What am I missing here, guys?
I think I even learned to become a better communicator in this relationship. I think I actually learned that about myself. I actually was a horrible communicator. Didn't know.
You think? You didn't know? Because I was the original who taught you about your communication, okay?
Okay, well, I just didn't realize it was that bad. But I learned. So that's something I've actively been working on. I've been working on it though. I've gotten it significantly better.
Okay.
Significantly.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah, cannot wait.
Yeah. Well,
growth.
Stay tuned.
It's that growth I was saying about.
You're right. Don't judge you based on. You're right.
This is
You're
now.
right. This is now. This is today.
Yeah.
God.
So, first, what was the laugh about? And then, second, gave the safe answer. And then, third, what is effective communication with women?
Clearly, that laugh is something they know about with her ex.
Well, and that laugh was also because she said she was a bad communicator. That laugh is, how you have your girlfriend. Well, let me not say too much, but how your girlfriends and they have their relationships, and you try to advise them because Teyana is married. She's been married for a while. She has 2 kids, and then Lori's significantly single. And it's like, girl, I told you not to do so and so. I told you to calm down. I told you to blah 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 blah. And then it's like after the fact is when you're hungry, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have reacted that way, or maybe I should have let him know, and so and so and so. So that laugh was more about, like, girl, you've been tripping. But they didn't want to say exactly what it was, but they both knew. She's
I
not gonna
don't
call it
know.
her
I
friend.
don't know, Africa Pop. I don't know. Q said the laugh was for something different.
Yeah, it has to be something that we're missing. It definitely deals with her ex, Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, they probably know each other sufficiently offline where there's stuff that, they're just not saying on the
Yeah, it's
video.
like when you laugh, Anton, because we know we talk behind the scenes, but we can't say it on the panel. It's because we know why we laughing, but other people don't know.
Yep, that is true. That is very
What was
true.
the question that led for the laughter? What was the comment that was made that led to the laughter?
She
What if
said,
you
"What is something that you?" It was basically like something that you know now that you wish you would have knew before.
Yeah.
Basically.
Not to get with Michael B. Jordan. not to put my
Hughes.
relationship on the internet.
It could be. The crazy thing is, it could be so many things.
Yeah, it could be. But I
It
give
could
her
be
that
so many
she took accountability of her horrible communication skills. So that's good for her because a lot of women they be thinking they got perfect
things.
communication skills and can't listen to nothing.
That's true. That is true. And Anton, the conversation is us women that have, especially the girlfriends who really try to keep you accountable, is they'll tell you, girl, I told you not to, like, why did you go off at that moment? Why did you do so and so? Like, why are you thinking that this person knows your mind? Now, I can't speak to them, but for her to say, for Teyana to say, I've been told you about your communication, means it's an ongoing thing. It's not like there's a one instance where, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I should have communicated better. It has been an ongoing thing.
Let me
The thing is, I don't even think that
I'm gonna read
it's
super
anything
chats in
that
a
like
second.
I wish I knew then that I know now. I knew. I
Right.
probably knew then.
Sometimes it's okay just not have no regrets.
Like,
Life is life.
I feel like that's the beautiful part of growth.
Yes.
You know, what I wanted at 21, I don't want at 25.
Right.
But at 21, I can't really speak to where she
It's outside. That's what I'm saying.
Two different
like,
mindsets,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
two different. I don't even know her anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know who she is. What does she do?
What she do?
What?
Don't judge me based off that you met.
Because she's not here anymore.
She's not.
This is who we're dealing with today. So
address me as such. Address me as today.
Okay.
What Joe say? Yesterday's price.
It's not
today's price. Who she was 4 years ago. Who she was yesterday. Today. Nah, that's real. I say don't have no regrets in life. Like,
live
I
your
feel
life,
like,
and you can't live your life based on like what other people are gonna think, how other people are gonna feel. Because at the end of the day, it's you, it's your life.
Right.
So it's gonna make you happy. Like, I never want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I did, or oh, why didn't I? Da, da, da. I'm gonna do it.
But that's what's dope about you, because I feel like people even come and do interviews. They come and do these kind of things, and they sell it. But like, you really live up to everything that you're saying. Like, you have to do that, especially at your age. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't live with any regrets. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's probably some things that everybody feel like, I could have handled this differently, or I could have da-da-da-da, but do I regret the experience? Do I regret the lesson? Do I regret? I don't regret anything.
Like, you learn so much in the process. So it's like, I wouldn't trade the knowledge I got for anything.
Exactly. And sometimes.
All right. It's a lot to break down in that clip, but let me read
Anton, but even before that, she said, I'm going to control the dating process. What does that mean? That's the main question I have. What does that mean? I'm going to control the dating process. What does that mean?
She's going to lead.
Lead who?
She's going to lead, and she's going to do as she pleases, as she sees fit. That's what I feel like that means. I don't know. Anton?
Well, I want to let y'all get it out first. Oz? I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think,
I don't
and
have a
it's
clue
not
what
gonna...
she was saying there.
You don't, Oz. You don't have a clue what she was saying. Is that what you're telling me?
She want to live her best life and talk to daddy's sons and the sons of the daddies, and she want to be.
But she been doing that. So what is it?
She was just talking to talk. She didn't make a lot of sense there.
You don't think that she was making... Listen, sir, it is very good that you got married and you've only rocked with one woman.
That's cute.
But
if you can't see through the lines and be able to interpret that effectively, I'm gonna break it down for you in a minute. But don't worry.
But Anton, also real quick, she said that don't judge me from when I'm 21 to 20.
No, that's not what she said. She said the person that I was when I was 21, I'm not that now. So what you think you getting is different than what you was getting when I was 21 years old. That's what she said. She didn't say don't judge me. She said that this is a different person and I'm a different monster than I was when I was 21.
That means she's grown and she will do as she wants, as she pleases. So if she wants to be for the streets, she will be for the damn streets. Ain't
correct. 100% correct. Because her experiences, even though they could have been bad or they could have been good, and she broke this down, is the thing that's helped her evolve into the person that she is today, which is why she says, don't live with regret, even if it was a regretful situation or it was a regretful relationship or whatever it is. But long story short, the idea is that she in the streets. for the pavement, pounding that pavement, and
But she made a point to say, don't the girl that don't think that I'm the girl from 21, or don't hold me accountable to where I was at 21 from where I'm at 25. My point is that is dangerous speak, because whatever you do follows you. Now, you can learn and get better from it, but to say that, oh, it didn't matter what I did at 21, no, it does matter. It matters what you do, period.
I don't think she's saying it don't matter. I think she's saying I don't give a fuck.
She doesn't care. If it follows her, she will do what Future does. She's the one that dated Future, right? She dated Future?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
So who hasn't Future dated then? I've heard of all sorts of names linked to him.
Diddy, Future, and Michael B. That's the only people that I know that have been linked or have been pictures with her being seen with.
Let me read some of these super chats. Brock said, the laugh definitely seems like an inside joke. We know what it is. Hink said, I love sex and hate iPhone. Jay says, Teyana and Lawyer are friends. That laugh was probably about his little thing. Sir Shah says, Anton, ask the panel, do women have a porn problem? Do women have a porn problem? That's what
I don't know. Let me watch porn.
Do women in general, not y'all, but do women in general have a porn problem? Do y'all think that women have a porn problem?
I don't think women should be watching porn or masturbating.
I think the bigger question is not a porn problem. Do women have unrealistic expectations and delusions of grandeur? That's the bigger problem, I see.
Well, then the question is, where are those expectations coming from? What's feeding those illusions, right? Because it's not happening in a vacuum.
They think everybody got a big schlong.
Yeah, social media, because I'm an older millennial, and in college, and my peers have been married 20 plus. After I think like 88, 89, I don't know what has changed, but the thought of that, because I want something and I'm entitled to it, means I should get it, has been I think social media has made it where, well, I see this person, they're getting it, so why can't I get it? So I believe, so therefore I'm going to get it. And I think that's really the issue, not necessarily a porn problem. I think the issue is entitlement and delusion. I think a lot of people who were comfortable 10, 20 years ago living average lives with average people, or at least, just dealing with it, feel like that it's above them now. And now they should be aiming for people who don't want them, or aiming for people that they can't get, and getting mad that they're not getting the results, but then blaming it on Pookies and Ray Rays, when it's just you're shooting higher than what you can get.
Tam says Kurt Franklin had a porn problem. It matters to that couple. Shout out to Tam. I love you, Tam. Let me pray a little bit more of this.
You need those mistakes or whatever they want to call it. You need those mishaps to know what to do better in the future. We got to stop living in what we could have done better, what we could have and move forward, and how we can become a better version of ourselves every single day, because time is not our friend. You don't get yesterday back, you don't get last month back, you don't get those years back. So all you can do is move forward and prepare yourself for being a young adult and a woman and then a mom and a wife, or whatever it is that you see yourself being. Now you have enough knowledge to be like, okay, I tried it this way, this didn't work. Still don't regret it though. We have deep conversations, so it's like, even when we talk, it's always from a perspective of woman to woman.
Maybe she
not
did
telling
know
you what you should
what the
do,
laugh was.
how you should do it, especially because we're two different ages. But it's just like,
but it's just like
the
sharing
game
that
is
experience and being like, yo, this is what I went through, this is how this played out.
It's
so
a
like,
dirty
just so
game.
you know what's up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you are an amazing young woman.
No, as beautiful as Teyana Taylor is to me, the
the
more she talks, the less attractive she becomes.
And continue to do that and have fun.
The more she talks, the less attractive she becomes.
Too fast, my brain.
Why do you say that?
Okay.
Huh?
And that's
Why do you say that? I agree with that sentiment and what she says.
Why do I say that Teyana Taylor is becoming less attractive the more that she talks?
Yeah, regarding that statement, you didn't agree with what she said?
No, I don't. I think she's validating the behavior.
I mean, I'm referring regarding the behavior, but
This is a you
what's
go girl conversation. This
it's a
conversation,
what?
the whole thing about this conversation is you go girl. That's what it is all about. There's nothing special they're saying here. It's, they're saying, "Oh, I did this, I did that." Oh, you go girl. That's
It's
it.
no
And
That's all
accountability.
that's happening here.
But
and
I
it's
do agree with her though when she says, "Do not harp in relationships." Right? You got to move on and learn from it. And a lot of women they don't do that. They bring in that trauma from their past relationships and transfer it on. I believe in taking that time to yourself and healing, learning what you did wrong, learning what you need and what makes you happy, and not jumping from partner to partner. I totally agree with y'all said. They're just I don't know what happened in their relationship, but I don't.
Well, see, the
It's
problem is that like she not saying also along with that because you are right, Q, but she's not saying along with that. Um, because the narrative is learn what you like and figure out what you don't like. The narrative isn't learn what's wrong with you
accountability. Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying, what's messed up about the situation. It's almost like the past is the past. No, the past is a past for a reason. It gives you insight into how it is that you can move a little bit differently in the future, but not just to determine what you like and what you don't like, because your likes is not gonna it's not gonna be helpful for a marriage or a long term relationship if that's what you're looking for.
And
And
she's not
so
looking,
Anton,
it's something missing out of that conversation.
but she's not
I
looking.
think yeah, and cute to the point, but then also I think she's not going to blast her girlfriend on what's now trending on YouTube in a dating. I think this is cute mark. This is great marketing for Bumble. That's the first thing I thought. Like, wow, this is great marketing for Bumble because they
It
want to
isn't.
get
I
more
thought
people.
Bumble was like. Listen, you can tell how much I've been out of the
It's
game.
a dating app.
Yeah, but isn't it? I thought it was like a gay dating app or something like that.
No,
No, I
no,
think that's called something with a G.
grinder.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
grinder.
But
Okay.
Bumble is for women to select the men. But and she
Ah,
couldn't go so she couldn't go that deep into Teyana. But Teyana being a wife, Teyana having a mother, being a mother to two children, her and older, she said that her perspective is different, and also Lori is younger. So I think in their own intimate conversation, she may be because I remember Tiana's show when she was asking someone she worked with, "Hey, when are you going to propose to this woman? She had a baby by you, blah blah." So she is into family and for Black people to be married, but I just don't think she really was gonna go in on her girlfriend for YouTube.
got
But
you.
hopefully she does have those side conversations and be like, "Look, girl, yeah, this is cute, he, but really you." She may not say you don't have all the time to be planned, but she may be like, "Girl, if you want to settle down, like if you want to be married, if you want to be a wife, if you want to have children, you're gonna have to do things differently." Like she did, because Tiana, honestly, she hasn't been with a lot of people. She had
We
maybe a
don't
couple two
know.
boyfriends before she.
We have
Well,
no
she
clue.
said. Well, she has said that she was a virgin, and then she had her
When?
first. Yeah, she was a virgin when she. I forgot who was the first NBA player. She was a virgin for a long time. No, I'm just saying what she said.
You
That
said
she was a
when,
virgin.
I got to
like
do some
folk,
research on this one because
like
I don't
folks
Yeah,
are
know
not,
about
no,
that.
no.
like folks are not born virgins.
I don't know about that, bro.
but no, but if you look into her story, she was a virgin. I forgot who took her virginity. Some a basketball player, and then maybe Imam was her second or third boyfriend. She did not live a promiscuous lifestyle. She was very much tomboyish. I mean, she still is, and she's been about her man and her family
Yeah, but I
since
thought
then.
I heard an interview where they were discussing like the breakdown of how they had threesomes and stuff like that.
We're in their marriage, but prior
marriage.
to it, no. In their
That's
marriage,
Oh,
they do.
that's
okay.
In their marriage.
wild.
She did date. She did date a basketball player.
She
She
dated
dated Soldier
Brandon
Boy.
Jennings. I remember him.
Yeah, yeah, and I think
He
he's the
played
one
for
who
the
took her
Milwaukee
virginity.
Bucks, and then he wound up
Yeah,
coming to the
broke her
Pistons and all of
heart,
that.
whatever. And then I think her second or third boyfriend was Iman. So she hasn't been, according to her, with so many people, and she waited a while before she, lost her virginity, and that guy
So
broke
wait
her
a
heart.
minute.
But
Wait a minute. Oz, you said something that piqued my ear. What's wild?
So, initially I forgot your name, lady. But you were
Africa pop.
you were yeah, Africa Pop. You were painting a picture that she's been not not, too crazy in her, personal life,
I gotta
and
see if how I can get these names
did,
up
did,
here. Go ahead, y'all.
did,
Y'all can keep
did good
going.
did good stuff and whatever, and then you proceed to mention that they had a threesome in their marriage, and I'm like,
Well,
that's
they have
crazy.
three sums.
Threesomes.
That's crazy. Period.
She
What
broke it
what
down.
what part? Wait, wait, wait.
That
What part is crazy?
For me, all of it is crazy, but that part, the
You got to be
threesome part, is
specific, bro.
just it's wild.
It's
Having a threesome,
crazy
like
that
how do you bring a third party into your bedroom? Like that's just crazy.
well, some people have an agreement to bring a third person in. I mean, it happens more
Then
than
then why y'all married?
So she broke it down. She broke it down. I don't remember what interview I saw. She was like, men, their nature is to have multiple women. So I might as well go
But
along.
that's not is I don't believe that though.
No, I agree with you. I don't believe it. I'm not sharing either.
Wait, wait, wait,
But
wait,
she was,
wait, wait. What don't you agree with, Oz?
That men's nature is to have multiple people.
well, that's in history that tells you that that's the case.
No,
History tells you that that's the case.
I understand that, people do what they want. People tend to, you know, date
No,
multiple
I'm not
people,
saying,
sometimes in series, sometimes in parallel, right?
but
Well, the
but
I get
reason
let's
it.
that I'm asking them
But
these questions is because two things can be true at the same time, right? It can be in a man's nature to have or desire multiple women, but then at the same time, a man could not have a threesome, right? I'm not even sure most men can even get a threesome, but I'm curious as to what he's saying and what he's thinking. I'm trying to understand what his mindset is.
my mindset is if you're calling
I
what
think
you
Q is
have
frozen.
with your wife, if you're calling that a marriage, then why is there a third party involved
well,
sexually with you
can I
guys?
can I
That's not
speak?
that's not a marriage.
Well, that's not necessarily true because I'm Nigerian, and in my culture, different
So am
groups.
I. So am I.
Oh, well, then So then, what are you? Okay, so then in our culture, back back in the day, before it became that it's one
I know
man, one woman.
polygamy was common. I know. I've seen it in my family as well.
So it's not that you know that it happens. I'm not saying that it's right for you or it's right for me, but I'm just saying that we know in our culture that that is a thing, and that powerful people
Okay.
or powerful men
Let's
get.
explore that. Let's explore that. Let's break that down, right? So, yes. I know that, in times past, especially, I mean, it's happened in other cultures, but, in our cultures, in Africa and whatever, polygamy was a thing and still is a thing. It's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
And, the men had their wives and whatnot. I've never heard where they had those multiple wives, but then those multiple wives were hareming, so to speak, threesoming. It was no, this is the hut where this one wife is. This other wife is in this other hut, and he goes to one hut, depending on, whatever his flavor of the night is, he'll go there. Not we're all in the same bed. That was not a thing.
But no, that you can't say that wasn't a thing because you don't because in addition to having wives, there were concubines, there were women there only for a good time, there were prostitutes. You can't
Right.
say that it was just a one-on-one experience. It could be a multiple. Again, I'm not justifying
Now,
it. I'm just saying that there's a world history. Monogamy is fairly new when it comes to and I'm
I
gonna
understand.
yeah,
I understand what you're saying, right?
yeah. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm trying to make a distinction here in is it's one thing to have multiple wives. For example, folks who are Muslims or whatever in Islam, they may have up to four wives or whatever. So they have these four wives, but these four wives are not all participating in the same activity at the same
So
time
wait, wait, wait,
on
wait,
this
wait,
in the
wait, wait,
same
wait, wait,
bed
wait,
with
wait,
this
wait.
dude. That's a different
You're
thing.
saying that it's not. I understand what you're breaking it down. You're saying that the difference between polygamy and having a threesome is two different things, correct?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And so you're saying that do most men want to have a threesome?
They may. I don't know about most. I can't enumerate that. So I do know that it is a popular fantasy in the culture to have that.
So why is
As
it
to
not in
whether
a man's nature to have multiple women?
I just I come from the perspective that you know, thinking about it a little bit more, it's it might be a fair statement. 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 Yeah, I will concede. I will concede that. It might be a fair statement. Yeah.
You say you're Nigerian?
Yes.
Which ethnic group?
I'm a mongrel. I'm half Igbo, quarter Yoruba, quarter Ishikiri. Actually,
Okay.
one eighth Ishikiri, 1/8 Urobo. So
All right.
a real
Well,
mongrel.
Igbo Quendo to the Igbo side.
Kwezuenu.
Now, what certain men decide to do, or if dudes feel it's even worth it, or some may feel it's overrated, or whatever, that's a completely different conversation. But the nature of a man,
It's to sin.
no,
Yes.
it's to conquer.
It's to sin.
It's to conquer.
Anton, you say you're a Christian, right? You
It's to
know that's a
conquer.
true. You know that's a true statement.
It's to conquer.
You believe that, Anton.
It's to conquer. The nature of a man is to conquer.
It's to sin.
It's to conquer.
It's to sin.
No.
Wait. But Oz, okay, Oz. Let's take it back. But history, we sometimes a lot of us we just say statements, but we don't look into the historical context to see how it is that things have been established through time. And to Anton's point, and even if you're a Christian, if you're not, if you follow any of the world's practices, you know from historical context that men, pillage and take the women and children for their own, and
Here,
they
here's.
conquer and prison.
I understand. I understand what you mean by historical conquest, right? But here's a mistake that people make all the time. They look at the history and they look at what the experience was for the quote unquote great men in history and take that and apply it to the rest of society. It was the great men, quote unquote, who were doing all that stuff. The rest of the dudes were picking up scraps, so to speak. They were not out
Right.
there conquering anything because they could not
Yeah,
conquer.
but it
nothing.
doesn't mean that they didn't try or they didn't want to. It means that the strongest and the fittest survived, right? Those that could did, and those that couldn't desired. Doesn't mean that it's not still in your nature to
That
do so.
that's fair. That's fair. But at the same time, there were also people who didn't necessarily believe in moving that way, right? Because if everyone believed in moving that way, society would have been utter chaos. There would have never been any sort of
No,
organized society at
that's how
any
we
point.
got to where we are today, is that
Yeah.
it's our competitive spirit that allowed for us to be able to do the things that we have and has progressed the technology that we have, the successes that we have, the building up of everything that we've done, the moving of the goalposts and moving things forward. It comes from innovation and it comes from being inspired by the idea that you can conquer. I have enough money to live the rest of my life the way I want to live it. I want the fucking Pistons. I want the Pistons. Why? I don't have to have it because it's in my nature to continue to go and push forward and become a better version of myself despite what I've already accomplished. Is it enough to survive? Of
That
course.
that
Then how
that
come people
is
how come we aren't inherently willing
that
to settle for
is
whatever it is that we have? Because I believe that the nature of a person is it exists in every aspect of your life, right? So you conquering, for example, financially, also motivation when it comes to, or inspiration when that extends over into corporate America, networking, women, whatever it is, the idea is to continue to win at the highest level and to push ourselves beyond what our current circumstances are. So if the nature of a person is to do that, then how do we then segment that out and say that that's not true when it comes to women or money or whatever? I believe that people that say stuff like, yeah, I just want to live a simple life and be happy, understand that they don't want to compete anymore.
not necessarily true
Okay.
because I know lots of folks who are wealthy who do have that mindset
That do have
That
what
they don't
mindset?
want to compete.
of being content. So there's a difference between saying I want to have a simple lifestyle. I'm not flashy. I don't want all of these stuff. But that doesn't stop them from being excellent at what they're doing. That doesn't stop them from going
So
out
they
into the
competing.
marketplace and doing what.
Just
Yeah,
the
they are.
the things that they're competing in is different than what the overwhelming majority of what's visible, but it doesn't mean that they're still not competing. They're not content. They still grinding.
No, they're content.
Yeah.
No, they not. You just said that they doing it. You said that they still building. They still doing it. How come they not? How come
No,
when they didn't hit this number, they didn't just stop?
there's such a thing as taking pride in your work or taking pride in your excellence.
Bull crap, bro.
It's not
Taking
bullcrap.
pride in your
It's
work, that is
reality.
the biggest lie and falsehood that I've, because if they took pride in it, then they would be willing to do it for free. And nobody is willing to do anything for free. Nobody.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as being competitive.
It is.
No, you pay me my fair price. That doesn't mean I'm being
Why?
competitive. That's my fair price.
But
That's the
why?
price.
Why do I want you to pay me my fair price?
Because I got bills to pay. Because I got things to do.
No,
Because
we
I'm
talking
I'm
about
I'm
people. No. We talking about people that are already successful. Why do they still want you to pay them their fair price?
because that's how the world should work. You
No,
pay fair
no.
value.
That is not an
Yes.
answer. That is how the world should work. That is not why they do it. Everybody has a why. Everybody has a why. And that's the reason why the Bible says in everything you have, in everything you do, get understanding. Right? Understanding why if you can unlock why somebody is doing what they're doing, then you can then control the narrative. You can inspire them, you can kill them, you can destroy them because you understand what makes them go. And so to lean on the simple answer in order to just be right is silly. We know that people do things because it's a why behind it. They're not doing it just because that's just how the world works. That doesn't even make sense.
It does.
It doesn't, because most people don't even agree with the overwhelming majority of what's happening in the world.
When I say that's how that's how the world should work is nobody should expect to go get a free service
But
or
that's on
even
the
a
consumer side. I'm
discounted
talking
service.
about the person
Correct.
that's offering the service. If you already content, if you've already lived in your purpose, if you're already wealthy, why are you still charging?
And take the wealth part out because the
No,
wealth part.
no,
No, yeah,
no. We're not
I'm est-
removing it because it's
I'm
a
trying.
heavy factor.
It is a factor, but what I'm saying is I'm trying to establish something before we build up to the wealth part. Because there were things that happened before the wealth came. You didn't just automatically just have the wealth. You were doing certain things that got you to the point where you built up the wealth. Those same things that you were doing consistently and excellently is what got you to the wealth. And whether the wealth came as fast as it did or not, you would still have continued doing those things
No,
because there was a reason you
no,
were doing
that is
those
not
things.
true. Because I
Okay.
don't know anybody, not one person in this world that does it without getting something from it. And then
Right.
their ability to monetize it is what separates them from everybody else. I don't know anybody that go to work because they having fun at work and that they would do it for free if they wasn't getting paid for it. That is nonsense. Nobody. Not one person on this earth goes to work because they just love work and the money is just no, they go to work because they're getting paid and then they learn how to adapt to the environment and enjoy what they do because that's what people do. People adapt. They don't do things for free because they're looking to get something out of it so they can use those resources to continue to propel them forward, whether it's power, whether it's continuing to buy assets, whether it's funding their kids' education, whatever it is, people are doing things for financial gain for a
But
reason.
yes, but that isn't competitiveness because the
Yes,
whole
it
point of
is.
competitive.
Because
No,
being competitive means that I'm going to beat you and being able to acquire the amount of resources in order to be able to be better than you.
and that's what I'm disputing is that it's not about beating someone else.
It is. It's always
You
about
don't have
beating someone
you
else.
don't have to you don't have to beat someone else to get to where you're going.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Wait,
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
You always have to beat somebody in order to get somewhere else. That is absolutely correct.
Okay.
And Oz, the thing is, we're in a capitalist society where there is winners and losers.
There is.
There's people that are doing
You
well
had
and
listen,
people who are
listen.
not doing
Hold on,
so well.
I get the
hold on,
concept.
Miss Pop. Hold on, Miss Pop. You had to beat somebody else just to get the spouse that you have.
That's true.
You have to beat
That's true.
somebody in every single aspect of your life.
That's true.
Everything you do, you have to beat somebody.
And Anton, can I bring perspective? Even so, you say that after a certain level of wealth, that there is just complacency. but I've had the unique opportunity to meet
Man, I
the
want to
founder
cook
of a
on this so
software
bad.
company
I want to cook
who
on this
who
so bad.
who sold their company for $1 billion. But do you think this man is resting on his laurels? No, he's looking for other companies to invest in. He's starting another company himself because him making millions of dollars from that $1 billion deal is not enough for him. So we've been in
Forget that,
conversations
forget that, Ms. Pop. Forget that. Listen, to get the job that you have, there is an interview process in order for them to pick the best candidate.
It's true.
That is competitive. You can't even work at a company unless you show yourself better than the next candidate in order to get that position to even earn the amount of money that you can earn. It's the reason why we have gamification. Listen, do you know what credit is? Credit is literally the game. When you play a video game, it's the reason why it's rankings. When you go into a call center, because I know I've built call centers out. When you go into a call center, the reason why we have those monitors up is because we want them to outperform the person that's next to them. Every single review that you have is a competitiveness. It's in our nature to continue to grow. And if you don't push yourself, you start dying, which is one of the reasons why I tell people, stop chasing happiness. Chase growth, because growth puts you in uncomfortable conversations or uncomfortable situations that allow for you to be able to propel yourself further than you would have if you only chased happiness. When you start focusing on just happiness or you start focusing on being content, you start dying. You literally start dying. That is the blueprint to death, is to start being content. The minute that you stop chasing growth, the minute that you stop being better, the minute that you stop propelling yourself, and then it gets to a point to where you don't chase money because you understand that money comes with it, which is why the scriptures say, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will come along with it, because we've unlocked the formula for success, understanding that you don't have to focus on the money. You can focus on being great, understanding that the money comes along with it, but the money got to come. Because ain't nobody doing nothing without a reward.
So
even in the Bible, think about it. Even scripturally, the ultimate goal is to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Even God incentivizes you to do the right thing because he knows that if he just set you on this earth and you just out here with no purpose, you're not going to do shit. Nothing happens. And so he has to incentivize it. Listen, children of Israel, fight for your freedom, even if you're not going to be able to get free. And none of you guys are even going to be able to get to the land of milk and honey. And your ancestors or the people that come after you are going to be the ones that do it. Then you have to do it for your children. Hey, do you want to make it into the kingdom of God? If, then so. If you follow my word and you obey, then you will be called my friend. These are the things in the very foundation of who we are as people. If you are a believer, you understand that God framed the world for us to be competitive in order to incentivize us to do the things that we're supposed to do. Even God himself says, I am a jealous God. He is competitive. He don't even want you to worship other gods.
So I have a question with respect to the example you just gave. Is getting to heaven actually a competition?
Yes.
Who are you beating out?
You're beating out yourself. That carnal man within yourself. You're fighting your flesh every single day. It's a fight between spirituality and the natural. He says war against your flesh. That's literally what the word says.
So let me reframe what I'm asking.
Oh no, right? Keep the same question. Don't switch it up now.
No, same question. I'm reframing it. Same question. I'm reframing it. So if getting to heaven is the goal, and as you say, it's a competition with yourself, your flesh is not in a hurry to try to get to heaven.
Your flesh is in a war.
So it's not a competition between your spirit and your flesh to get to heaven.
It is,
because you're not chasing the same thing.
It is,
because your flesh is trying to take you in the other direction.
No, your flesh has no understanding. Your spiritual man does. The difference is that your flesh believes that you can have your cake and eat it too. Your flesh wants to believe, and it's reprogramming your mind to believe that you can do something that you can't. So it is still a competition, and it is a war. And the reason why you have two different people inside of you, and that's why he says first natural, then spiritual, is because you're going to war against the thing that you inherently are taught to believe, which is why he says we're born in sin. We have no understanding. We don't know the vision for ourselves. And so we lean to our own understanding in order to drive us into the place that's actually bad for us. And so that's why the war is within yourself. It's still a competition. Your flesh wants to say you don't have to do all that in order to be successful and make it into heaven. Because none of us want to believe that we going to hell. Think about it. Nobody says, no matter how egregious the person is that they homie is, nobody believes. Everybody say rest in peace, rest in heaven, and all of that. No matter how egregious that person was on this earth, everybody believed that their auntie is going to heaven. Why?
Well,
because I'm going to tell you why. I'm not even going to let you answer. I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because our flesh wants to believe that we are something that we aren't, which is why our spiritual man has to war against it.
In general, I agree with you. I was just gonna make a side joke that some of these hip hop folks absolutely want to go to hell. At least they say so.
Man, don't get me to cooking today.
I agree with your general point, Anton. I think it might be we might be having different understandings of what competition is. That's probably where the disconnect is. But I do agree with your general point that, you know, everyone should continue to want to have growth, continue to strive for growth and things like that. And the moment you stop growing, absolutely, you start going the other direction.
Well, Oz, what is competition to you then? What does that mean? If you're saying you have different definitions, what does that mean?
To me, competition means that there is, let me put it this way, competition implies a race between people. And I don't think that necessarily every aspect of your life where you need growth implies that you're competing with someone else for that growth. For example, if you're trying to grow spiritually, that's not a competition with other people.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. Then why do we have structure within the church for people to take certain positions, even in the Bible?
Church is not about competition.
It is. It absolutely is.
It shouldn't be.
I don't care what you think it should be. It is.
Then they're doing it wrong.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
They're not. They're going about their method by which they acquire their leadership capabilities and how they get to where they get to may be wrong, but their competitive spirit and wanting to be the best version of themselves is not wrong.
Are they trying to be closer to God because they want to be a pastor, or are they trying to be closer to God because they want to be closer to God?
What are you talking about? They want to be closer to God because because there's supposed to be a reward on the other end of the thing, at the other end of your spirituality and what it is that you do on this earth.
So again,
wait.
Again.
You think that the disciples themselves, the disciples, were martyred, heads cut off, and everything that they do just because? You don't think that it was a competition for righteousness?
To see who would die first?
Because they feel as though no. Think about it. Because their reward, you missing it. He says, "Listen, if you don't suffer with me, you can't reign with me." So they believe that their reward is greater after they die, but they also believe that that what it is that they get is largely going to be dependent upon what they show themselves worthy of when they got here, because that's why the words specifically say you're going to have to be accountable for every single thing that you do on this earth.
Right.
But again,
so what are you talking about? What you think that they was just doing it because it was fun?
Your accountability to God is not about being better than other people.
It absolutely is.
Because that is what competition is. No,
it absolutely is.
It
absolutely is.
Anton, real quick.
If I can reject my flesh in order to make sure that I do the thing that is the most righteous, I am doing it for a reward. Every single person on this earth is doing it for a reward. Paul, David, Solomon, Job, every last one of them was doing it for a reward.
Right. So
Anton, real quick.
what?
Steven.
Okay. Let's
Wait,
define what that reward then is, because
wait,
that
real quick.
was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Real quick. Even in the and I'm sorry, I went from threesomes to the Bible. I don't know how that happened, but even
I don't know how that happened either.
even even with but even with when Jesus said, "Go and make disciples of all the nations," that is a competition. Every time you hear in church the altar call, that is a competition.
And wait. Here's who are they in the competition with? Who are they trying to win souls from? Who are they trying to make sure that they win souls for? It is a competition.
For Christ. They want to win
who?
As many
Against
souls.
who?
The world.
Against the devil.
Yes. So it is
a war and a competition to see who wins the most souls. Now tell me I'm off on that.
But wait, no, but even in the parable with the talents, God was mad when the person buried the talent in the
did
ground
not do what they were supposed to do and use what it is that he gave them in order to be successful. And he gave the one with the least amount of talents that buried his treasure to the one with the most talents that was actually using it for whatever it is that he was supposed to do. Now tell me that wasn't a competitive thing either.
It wasn't.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. Well, you can move on to the next. That was that. I mean, I'm
being dead serious, because again, competition implies that two or more people are fighting in a zero-sum game.
It's not just people. And it's not a zero-sum game.
Okay, so
it's not a zero-sum game.
So if it's okay, so if by your definition it's not a zero-sum game and it's not just people, then I concede.
It's not a zero-sum game and it's not just people.
Then I concede, because then we're talking on different frames. Then I concede that. I get the general point.
Now back to Lori Harvey, and she's being for the streets. I'm not saying she is. That was a joke before someone clips it and makes it a thing.
That wasn't me. That was Anton. Anton got in the spirit.
No, you brought it up because you wanted to bring up the spiritual aspect. I don't even know if you know how spiritual I am.
I'm not competing with you on that.
No, I'm saying, do you? Because a lot of people think because I cuss that I'm not spiritual or I'm not Christian. Do you believe that too?
No, I don't. Everybody has their thing they struggle with.
I'm not struggling with it. I like cussing.
Then that's different.
It's not a struggle. I think that when you say certain things a certain type of way, it's only a certain. Well, if I say, listen, forget that girl over there, or I say, fuck that bitch, it's two different ways. It hit different. Do it not hit different? Forget that woman over there. Forget that woman over there. Or if I say, man, fuck that bitch, forget her. It hit different.
Now, Jesus did say, and we don't know exactly the words. How long do I have to deal with you stiff-necked people? I mean, Jesus was not so friendly with the words with his disciples because they were pissing him off.
That wasn't no F word though.
We don't know what words was used, but we knew Jesus was. Jesus kind of.
That wasn't no F word though.
Jesus did talk crazy to his folks. We know that for a fact. That Jesus was talking crazy to his homeboys. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, get y'all act together.
Yeah, I can't co-sign that one, bro.
Well, let me read some of these super chats. Give me a second. Cliff Williams says, conquest is the most important thing to a real man. Without conquest, I don't think men have purpose. Natcast, shout out to Natcast Productions. I appreciate you. Spaces says, so people don't compete against themselves? Absolutely they do. Sir Shah says, I'm at the Motown Museum and it's lit over here. Shout out to my people in Detroit. Zachary says, from the street she did emerge, and to the street she shall return. And I say unto you, she is for the streets. So be not weary when she must return from whence she came.
No.
Nature of men to Monster Mash. I can't lie, you cooking, Anton. Shout out to Trail Fast. Shout out to everybody that support the platform. Y'all want to continue with this? It's up to y'all. I'm gonna let y'all determine it.
Yeah, I got to jump to a work call shortly. It was
And I
nice
know
talking to
Q
you
been working the
guys.
whole time.
We can
Yeah,
continue, but
Well, let me just play a little bit more just to see what else she got to say, and then we're gonna wrap this up shortly.
Sip with caution.
No, real. Like you wouldn't handle a cup of tea the way you would handle a bottle of water.
Yeah, you're not
water,
gonna
you
throw
run
that
it,
back.
you throwing it
Yeah.
back, you
You're
even
gonna-
playing with. Are you stupid? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't. But with tea, you walk slower.
Yeah, you're gonna pick
you're
it up
delicate.
delicately. Let me hold this in
You're
a
gonna
nice
sip it.
china.
Exactly. That's me. It's just a cup of tea. Be gentle, be delicate with me, and that's.
This is
what
an
he
echo
does. Like,
chamber.
he handles me with care, and not just like some bottle of water. You know.
I like that. I ain't no bottle of water.
You feel me?
That's a good one. I like that
Yeah,
one.
but it's also like, I think another thing that a lot of people miss,
These
and I
chicks
think
is for the
it should
streets,
work
Q.
both ways, is that we should always be afraid of like losing one another. And I think that's further to my point of
But you know what? Let's just do this. I believe that almost every single woman on earth is for the streets. I
How do
genuinely
you
do.
how do you arrive at that conclusion, Anton?
I believe that almost. I told Rita this morning. It's funny. We were having this conversation on the couch, and I was getting things together, and I was making sure certain videos was ready and all of that stuff. I said, Rita, I think that every woman is. I don't even know how this came up.
Yeah, what made y'all talk about that? Was it last night?
Rita.
Someone slipped some shrooms in his coffee.
I won't say for the. I'm gonna have to think about the for the
I'm gonna
streets
try to
part,
get
but I
her in
think
here if she ever.
That's the kind of comment that you hear when Joe Rogan is having his conversations with his guests and they're talking
No,
about
seriously,
the
I
drugs they did. You're like,
genuinely.
everyone's for the streets, bro.
No. Seriously. I believe that all women are inherently for the streets. Maybe not
Well,
all.
what do you mean?
There may be an anomaly here.
What do you
It
mean
may
by
be an
that,
anomaly
Anton?
here and there. But let me tell you why. Because what separates a woman that's for the streets from one that's not?
Loyalty,
No.
self-respect.
Nope.
So what is it?
It's the
Urging you for
it's the person that she was raised with. It's the guy that determined her fate when she was with him, so on and so forth. It's very much up to us to determine who's going to be from the streets and who not.
She's very much in control of her actions.
She's not.
For the streets,
She's not.
she's for the streets, she's
Listen.
for the streets because of her.
There's
because of
women.
her actions.
There are women. I'm not even going to say there are women. Overwhelming majority of women are controlled by whatever it is, whoever man that she's with. Why do you think that we say that we are their covering? Why do you think that we're called a groom? Why do you think that at the altar it's handed over from the father over into the person that she's marrying?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that perspective.
Every single person on this earth is influenced by, and they have everything that they have is based off of a learned behavior. Now, men inherently are leaders, which is why we don't worry about women ever moving over us as strong men. Of course, there's going to be a bunch of weak men that complain about it, but in reality, what a woman is to become is largely determined by the men that she's impacted by in her lifetime, whether it's her father or anybody else that she's rocking with. So I believe that a woman's inherent nature is to be rebellious. A woman's inherent nature is to do things like children, which is why I say children are very similar to women, right? And that they have to be guided. They have to be groomed. If you give them an opportunity to choose for themselves, 9 times out of 10, they're going to choose wrong because they don't know any better. Some of them get lucky and they rock with a dude that actually has a better plan for them and can guide them more effectively. But in reality, all women are generally for the streets. It just depends on who it is that she's with at that time.
Wait, so when you say for the streets, meaning just out there, just dating, just
the nature of a woman is the same woman to woman. I'll give you another example. All women, overwhelmingly, you may have an anomaly here or there, but overwhelmingly, especially as they get older and they have more experience, even if it's just with that one person, every woman loves sex, even though they're not supposed to highlight that sex is a good thing. Right? They're supposed to be keeping it, don't be boisterous. Don't talk about it as much. Don't be promiscuous. Don't be so forthcoming. But women enjoy sex. I mean, they absolutely love sex overwhelmingly. Of course, you're going to have the one here or there, a dot there and there or whatever. But in a general sense, how you use that and how you how you put her out there, whether or not you want to rock with her long term or not, or whatever, so on and so forth, is largely determined by the experiences that she have with the people that she's with. Y'all real quiet over there.
No, I'm just thinking about what you're
I
saying. Um,
I I get the overall from the perspective of the fact that there needs to be a man covering the woman, and if he's not covering properly, she becomes vulnerable to certain behaviors, vulnerable to getting preyed
She will do
upon,
whatever you tell her
things
to
like
do, bro.
that.
She
Right.
will do whatever you tell her to do if you know what you're doing.
that is correct.
I get the overall point, but I feel like that takes away too much self accountability from the woman.
No, it doesn't, because listen, I don't need for her to hold herself accountable the same way that I don't need a child to hold themselves accountable. Right? We hold them accountable because we hold them accountable. We're still molding and grooming them as they go and as they grow and as they are under our covering. Right? It doesn't mean anything to me. I hold them accountable, but they're still under my leadership. They're still under my kingdom. So I hold Rita accountable, which is one of the reasons why guys have largely said throughout history, don't get mad at the player, get mad at the game, because you should have had your chick under lock and key. Don't get mad at the dude that bust your chick down. Get mad at your chick for getting bust down because you didn't have your chick in order.
Right, but what you just said places the accountability on the woman herself. That
No,
she
it
didn't have
places the accountability
she
over the man that she's supposed to be under to get his chick in order. Now, he can hold her accountable, but ultimately, when you're talking about accountability, it goes up, not down. In any
so
organization, in any
again,
relationship, the
it's
accountability
not
goes up, not down. Rita
so
is a
it's not.
representation of me, not the other way around.
I hear you. I hear you. But what I'm saying is it's not mutually exclusive, right? So there is absolutely the point that the dude has to be acting right and has to be in control of his situation. That is a fact. At the same time, though, the woman is under control of her own behavior.
No, she not. Not if she
She's
under the
not
right dude.
she's not a tool. She's not a robot.
She is.
She has
She's
her own.
not. She's not in control.
She
No,
has
she's
her own
not.
mind. She
No,
has
she not.
decisions to make. Okay.
No, she not.
I'll disagree with that one.
No, she not.
Well, okay, so
What
the
she
woman does
does,
have her
what
own.
she
The
does
woman
is,
does have her own mind, but she's under the leadership of. She's under the direction of whomever
listen,
is the covering for
listen.
her.
Dogs have their own mind, but they do what their owner tells them to do because they're under that leadership. If a dog gets out and it
Anton, are
runs
we
out,
dog?
if a dog gets out and it runs around the neighborhood and it go and bite a bunch of people, you can hold that dog accountable. But ultimately, according to the authorities, the owner should have had control, and they're going to hold them accountable for it.
Yeah, I think you're stretching the analogy too
I'm
far.
not stretching it. What I'm saying is that leadership, it goes up. The accountability goes up, not down. If your kids go and do something that they're not supposed to do, it was a shooter over here in Michigan. You know what they did? They went and arrested their parents. Accountability goes up, not down. Now we think that just because they grown and then they can walk on 2 feet and everything like that, that means something different. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when you move in a certain type of way as a guy, you control the narrative.
I get that. I get that overall point. I already conceded to that part. I totally agree with that part of it.
So what we
So
talking about
Anton, you're
then?
saying. So Anton, you're saying that women are for the streets because they're not under the proper
I believe
leadership.
that
There's not
all
enough.
women are inherently for the streets. It's just what we groom them to be. It's the
What
leadership. It's the leadership that they're placed under, or that they submit to, that determines their fate.
all right. All right.
I
But
can't.
what
I'm
if they
trying
don't
to.
have any covering though? So everybody's for the streets before marriage?
I believe that at some point in most women's lives, they'll wind up getting the covering that they need in order to be successful.
So basically, what you're
Whoa, whoa,
saying,
whoa, whoa.
prior to marriage or the covering, all the women are for the streets. Then
No, prior to
that
marriage, they're supposed to be under their father's covering. But
got
That
this
you.
is
is the
true.
problem. We're so out of order. And the reason why women have the power that they have is because it was a bunch of weak men that conceded.
So, Anton, I think based on what you just described, I think I can now kind of get with the overall summary that you gave, is that because of how things are done today, where women after, whether it's after high school or college or whatever, they're no longer under the covering of their father, and they're not also necessarily getting married. So in that interim period, they are kind of for the streets, especially if they're actively out there dating or whatever. If that's what you're describing, then I think I get it.
And see, Robert Lee, he asked a great question. He said, "Now, I'm not against the hierarchy." He said, "However, what God is there for men to lead women? God over man, man over woman, woman over child." We're out of order. We don't have any guide because we're not subscribing to the things that actually can teach us what we need in order to be successful when it comes to raising our families. It's a
Anton, are you a
blueprint. It's
deacon?
called a living world. I mean, it's called a living word. You said what?
Uh,
Anton, are
I,
you a deacon?
Uh-uh.
I, I gotta
His name
drop
is
off, guys. It
Pastor
was it was not it was nice
Anton.
talking to you. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me
my
on
friend.
today.
Thanks for rocking out.
Take care.
Minister Anton.
Pastor. Pastor Anton.
Why I gotta be a deacon?
You gotta say Pastor
You
Antoine.
you you seem like you be on the deacon board telling the pastor, look, pastor, I hear what you're saying, but this is the money we need to pull in for this event. This is how it's going. Sister so and so is out of pocket. You need to check. So
You know what?
you just see
Honestly,
that energy.
I just believe that mm, I believe that it's basically in our human nature to move a certain type of way. I think that most people are scared to really be honest with what we're supposed to do because they're so afraid to tell the truth and they're so afraid of getting canceled and they're so afraid of getting doxxed at their job that they're unwilling to start to go and do the work that's going to allow for them to get the success that they want. Men can have anything that they want, literally. It's at your fingertips. Anything you want in this world, you can have. The question becomes, how bad do you want it? And if you want to just be comfortable, and this is why I say don't be content, then you're going to get what comfortability looks like. If you want greatness, there are no shortcuts to greatness. Men need to suffer. They need to go through things. They need to know what it means to lose. They need to know what it means to win. They need to be able to fail in controlled environments. They need to understand what women are like. They need to understand the nature of women. They need to be able to control women because if you learn how to control women or control the nature of a woman, you can be successful in anything. You know how to be great in sales. You know how to be great in corporate America. You know how to network effectively. You know what people need in order to be successful so you can empower them to be better versions of themselves. But people don't want to go through the process. They want a shortcut. And there are no shortcuts to success. And this is why God said that I'm gonna make you be faithful in little, and then I'll make you ruler over much. Because if you go about doing it the right way, and anybody can get rich, right? This is the reason why you got these PPP scammers going to jail, and why you don't get the character to go along with it. Anybody can be rich. Very few people know how to do it the right way. When you do it the right way, you can't skip steps because you get every lesson. You go to the 11th, 12th grade, 13th, college, so on and so forth. But the idea of it is that then the character will carry you and keep you because your power can be used for good or bad. It's a double-edged sword. You can become a pimp or you can become somebody that is very, very much a pillar of their community because they know how to keep their household in order, which then leads them to be able to lead a bunch of people. But it's a double-edged sword because you get the lesson either way. The key to this is that when you do it God's way or you do it the righteous way or you go about doing it the right way and getting all of the lessons and suffer along the way, what happens is you get the character that keeps you when you get big, right? So now I can't be corrupted because I know what it means to go through certain things and I know the importance of what my journey is supposed to be. You don't get corrupted. The character keeps you. That's what the lesson is supposed to be. Why you have to going through what you're going to do in order to be successful. Because what happens is a lot of people, they get a bunch of money and then they fuck up and then they problems are much bigger as they get a whole lot because it's no coming back from, like, for example, let's say you owe $1 million to IRS. You know how hard that is to come back from? But if you fail in controlled environments and you suffering along the way, you become great. And then you become the man that you're supposed to be, that you can lead your family to do.
Anton, I have a quick question because you mentioned that how most women are for the streets. But what do you think
Almost all women are
needs to
for the streets, pretty much.
well almost all because due to lack of covering or wanting to be under the covering. But then what would
Bless you.
make it that a woman would say thank you? That I sorry, I might have a sore throat. What would make a woman say, "Hey, I want to be under the covering," because some of the single ladies that I talk to, oh, I don't want a man to control me. I don't want anyone to tell me what
But
to
they don't know
do.
what they want. They don't know what's best for them.
Or they hurt still from their last
Kids want to
relationship.
eat all candy all day for dinner. Go and get that fucking broccoli and get them vegetables. It's not about what they want. It's about what's best for them, because ultimately they'll submit to anybody that gives them the guide and the guidance that they need in order to be successful. It's not about what you want. It's about helping you to understand what's best for you, but also being able to communicate it effectively. Just to move with a strong hand don't mean that you're going to be successful when it comes to grooming women to be what they need to be.
And then also that it's not going to happen in the package that they want it to happen in. I think, particularly for some of my single friends, they deem because they're a lawyer or a pharmacist or a nurse or whatever, because I be able to obtain these things, that I have to deserve someone who is on my level. And I think that's the hard. I don't know. I don't know what can crack the code on that one, but that
Y'all don't have a
is
level.
She's
well,
talking about status level. Like, I'm talking about
yeah,
money
like a
wise, I'm
lot.
guessing.
Yeah, cute. Like cute, I don't know about you, but if you have homegirls, ooh, sorry,
No, I
if
do
you have
got homegirls, but we're realistic though. The men, there's not a lot of men making that much money, and let's just be honest, the men that are making that money, they have way more options out there regarding
yeah,
women.
oh,
So
I'm with
we
you,
just
but it's like, how do you get through to the women who feel like? Because I be watching some of the things that are said online, and I just be some of the things that people say at work, and I'm just like, I get it, but it's not like it's not realistic.
how
How
old are
I don't
they?
know.
How old are they?
Ooh, 33, 35,
Honestly,
36.
women that age still thinking like that, they stuck.
Yeah, they stuck.
If
They
if
need
they
a
still
coaching
stuck in the
session. Tell them to
mindset,
tap in. Is it you, Chindu? You muted yourself, big dog.
hello,
He
Did he mute?
muted. He's muted. He got to unmute himself.
sir,
Says the guest has muted themselves. He
can you say
You still
words?
muted, big dog. No, he's
Yeah.
muted right now. Q.
Oh, oh.
As soon as he unmute himself, we'll get him in. Brock says, pass a love offering. I appreciate you. Spacer says he's not a deacon, he's a Jesus Christ.
Pasta.
Yoli says, I will say if I was not raised by my father, I would be for the streets. I'm single still and would never do anything that would make my dad look bad. And I have my own mind. Shout out to Yoli. Rock with you. Appreciate you. You Chindu, are you able to unmute yourself, big dog? No, you still muted. Your microphone is off, big dog. I'm sorry.
I'm struggling.
All right. So, anyways, yeah, that's my sentiment. That's my stance. And a lot of people think that I'm crazy, but I know that I'm right. I know I'm right.
I mean, once you say it like that, it's very. You got to get through the shock value because for the streets has such a negative connotation. But
How
I
do we
get what you're saying.
differentiate? How do we separate between the women that we just want to bust down and the women that we want to marry?
How do you, as a man?
How do men in general determine the women that we want to bust down versus the women that we want to marry and be in a relationship with?
I think men realize that very quickly and very soon. It can happen by their first date. They realize, okay, this woman, she's for the streets, or this woman, I can see it going further. They realize it very soon.
We
Yeah,
know
I have to
almost
say,
immediately whether or not we want to marry a woman.
Yeah.
my husband said, I mean, you can't change a. I think sometimes for someone, what messes them up is they feel like they can change a man's mind. But prior to my husband meeting me, he was like, no one could change my mind if I want to get married. But when I was ready to really look to settle down and be married is when you came into my life. And I knew rather quickly that you were it. Now, he said that
See?
pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but he was right, because it was like that. Like,
No immediately.
Yeah.
No immediately. Now, I believe that I can throw a pebble, hit any woman, and I can make her what she need to be.
I'm dead.
I do believe it. I know it.
Hit a pebble on that.
Wait, okay, but the thing, okay,
Hit a pebble
Anton,
on what, Q?
Hit a pebble on that the show last night. Then
I'm working on it.
Pebbles.
I'm working on it.
Pebbles.
I'm working on it.
My whole phone fell.
Well, Anton, you need to be.
I'm working on it, Q. That
Anton, you need to be a
that will be
husband.
my greatest visual accomplishment.
Some pebbles you can't bust through some of that. Especially if a woman has a history.
Watch me.
No, I'm just saying
Anton,
from a man's perspective,
Anton, remember the soil parable.
Watch me.
Remember the soil parable.
You can throw the pebble,
on cement.
You can't erase her past.
I know, but I'm gonna build a better future.
What, you gonna build a whole new woman? You can't erase her past. Oh, wait, what? You gonna build a new a future? The rapper?
No, I'm gonna build a whole new future. I'm not focusing on the past. I'm focusing on the future.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Watch me.
Nah, stuff like that. No, no, you can't erase that.
You gotta. How much time are you willing to put in?
I don't need to put much time in at all.
Ain't no time could erase. She was a stripper.
Q.
She was messing with married men.
Q.
She admitted to that.
Q.
What? That's a big ass pebble that you about to bulldoze.
Q.
Is still gonna be there.
I see the greatness in her.
Ooh, okay, God.
I see the greatness in her.
You know, Anton did say he about to walk. He gonna walk on water one day.
I know. Listen. I see things. I'm telling you. I see things that.
No, you need to stop seeing that and find me a husband. That's what you need to see.
I'm working on you. You're not ready yet.
What? Why you mean I'm not ready? I don't even go out to meet a man. You supposed to be.
You have some other things. You have some other things that I'm working on first.
Oh Lord, no! If it deals with streaming, forget the streaming.
It ain't got nothing to do with streaming.
I will give up.
Wait a minute.
Listen. I have already have a straight up laid out plan for you. Ask Rita.
I'm about to call Rita after this and be like, Rita, what's the plan?
She don't know what the plan is, but she know that I got a plan for you.
How you gonna tell me? Ask Rita.
Anton, I do.
No, ask Rita if I got a plan for you.
Anton, if you meet a single woman, can you tell if she's ready to be married or not?
No woman is ready to be married.
Well, not.
No woman is ready to be married.
But what did you just say to Q though? You just said to Q she's not.
When I say that she's not ready, I'm not talking about ready to be married. I'm saying that she's not ready in other ways, which is why I said I'm working on her.
Okay, in what way I'm not ready?
I'm not gonna talk about it online.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
You'll be fine. Trust me, I got you.
But okay. I understand what you mean by not ready to be married, but can you meet a? Then I don't even know how to phrase the question.
Because you probably don't have a question.
No, I get what she's asking. Can you tell if a woman is marriable? Are you asking that? If she's for the streets? Well, you say everybody's for the streets. If she's a wife?
Thank you, Keith.
I can make any woman what she needs to be.
Oh Jesus!
I can.
I don't think that's possible, especially when a lot of these women got passed. They hopping from the man to man. They especially like imagine a famous person. Who's a famous thought? Kim Kardashian.
She just need a coaching session.
Oh, but she has a history.
She need a coaching session.
The coaching session is not gonna do what Men in Black does and erase everybody's memory that she's a hoe.
We don't need to erase it. We need to groom her effectively.
But even if you do groom her to be someone else's wife for the 5th time, you can't groom that past.
You don't need to.
So
So
you don't
forget
think a
about the
man?
celebrities. What about the local people?
What
How
about
would
them?
if someone hits you up and say, you know what, Anton, I need to be groomed. Put me on a course
Most
so
most
that I can
women
eventually
most
be
women know that they need to be groomed. Most women are the foundation. Think about it. I can't be doing this.
Why?
Jesus
But aren't we
Christ.
usually groomed by the man that we're gonna be with though, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Most women need a father figure in their life first,
Okay.
and then that's where I'm
that
gonna come
part.
in. That's where I'm gonna come in.
That part.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Mm.
just leave it at that.
But also our potential husband does our grooming at times too, correct? He
I
grooms
think that
us.
now that's the second part of the equation because
Okay.
you got to have men being able to walk in their purpose and not 100% focusing on women, but focusing on being the best version of themselves. Because a woman that doesn't have strong leadership will still go. She'll turn into a Mustang again. She'll turn into a horse. You know what I'm saying? She needs a man that's going to guide her, a strong hand. But she also needs to know what that looks like first. If she don't know what that
These
look like, then it's
animal
gonna be
analogies are
no. Seriously, she
crazy.
needs to know. Listen, most women have never seen what is or never felt what it's like to be under a certain type of guy. She needs to know
You're
what that
right.
looks like first, right? And then on the other side of the equation, you got to have a man that actually walks in his purpose and stop being a bitch when it comes to dealing with the women that he's dealing with. First thing in not being a bitch is that you got to stop focusing on women. If you doing what you do, she'll get on your purpose. She'll get on the path that she's supposed to be. She'll submit to you without you having to ask about it. And so, it's two parts to the equation, but at the same time, you can't let her out the stable until she already got a saddle on.
You know
She
what's
gotta know
so
how to be
funny,
tamed.
Anton? Both Eve and Beyonce said that he was wild enough to tame me. Something like that. Like even in Beyonce's latest album Resonance, she said something about being tamed, and of course Eve said that line back in the day. So I mean, I think you have a point there.
Listen, a woman will let herself, like, she will give you everything she got. She will, like, have you ever, ladies in the chat, have you ever just been in a space where you can completely be free? I mean, like, you don't have a guard up, you don't have any reservations, you're not scared, you're not tiptoeing around having certain conversations. You can feel secure in your body, which then allows for you to be able to then propel yourself, even more. And like you start to feel like you got the wind beneath, like the wind behind your back, and you can start to fly. Have you ever had a guy that made you feel like you are the only person on earth, that he stripped down all of your insecurities by forcing you to face yourself, and then he put you in a position of power by helping you to understand how great you can be? Do you know what it feels like to be up under a guy that completely covers you, and you know that there's nothing that you can do that A, he won't either hold you accountable for, but B, doing in love to make sure that you are the best version of yourself? Most women don't know what that feels like. Most women have no clue what it feels like not to have to go out and compete for resources, but instead to be stripped all the way down from what they thought that they were, and then become the best version of themselves because they're under a certain type of covering. Most people have no clue what that feels like. They don't know what it feels like to be under a strong man. They don't know what it feels like to not have to make a decision, but to be empowered to make certain decisions because he's giving you that responsibility because he trusts you now. Most women have no clue. They
Yeah, it's
don't.
a
All they
wonderful
know
feeling.
is they just running from strag to strag and from situation to situation and job to job because all they doing is surviving. They have no purpose because they've had no man to give them that vision for what their life is supposed to be like. You become whole. And then once you become whole, then you can become a wife. But most people have no clue. And that's why you got people monkey branching into trauma bonds instead of understanding what it means to be in a successful marriage. And I can give you that. It's a blueprint for it. But most people don't want it because they got their pride, they got their ego. It's not a part of them. It's a two-part equation, but very few people understand how to get there. I'm telling you, I
And,
got the blueprint.
Anton, I do appreciate you being on YouTube because unfortunately there's other voices, loud voices that just, misery likes company. And then people saying, well, I know people brag about being married, but y'all don't make marriage look fun. And I mean, marriage is not supposed to be fun, but that's a whole other topic. But to your point, like I'll tell my single friends, I will never, God forbid something happens to my husband. I will not. It's me and him till, and it took me a while to get there, but it's me and him until Lord takes us one or the other or both. Because it's way, way, way better to be married than to be single. It's not even close. And we're gonna be married for 12 years in September, and I just
Congrats.
thank you, but I just don't. I mean, people don't understand that people keep on focusing on fidelity and all this other stuff, but you got to work in-laws, medical issues, other
Listen,
things
if
that
you
happen.
working, you don't have to worry about infidelity if you got all of the other pieces to the equation. You don't. Cheating and
Yeah,
infidelity is the last thing. When I walk around, and anybody that know me in person know that I can walk around and I hug people and I kiss them on the cheek and we kick it and we dance together and we have drinks and all of that, and I'm dope with everybody. Rita ain't tripping off none of that. She don't even blink. Rita ain't
but you know
checking for
what?
me. She ain't
But
chasing me
you do
around. She not checking my phone. I don't have them problems.
But you do know that there's different ratings when it comes to marriages, and you're probably in the A, which is 10%. There's most marriages, even when you're married, most marriages don't look like that. So it's good that you and your wife show an example of both people to aspire to, because I think some people get it messed up like, oh, I'm married now, everything's supposed to be perfect. No, it's something that you work towards. It's something that you work with
Nope.
your spouse to make sure
Nope.
that you're aligned in your
Nope.
responsibility.
Nope.
Expand. What do you mean by nope?
Marriages are not supposed to be work at all. Not even a little bit. Marriages are not work.
So are you saying marriage is supposed to be easy?
It is easy. A successful marriage is easy. It's like living in a dream.
Okay, with that being said, but okay. So then my question then is, there are no trials and tribulations, there are no disagreements, there are no hard moments, everything is just peach
What's the
pie.
hard moment? Like what? Give me a hard moment. Give me an example.
Um
Jesus Christ.
ooh, it's a good one. Just
You can't even
the
think of
little
one.
stuff. Well, because it's little
Because you
things that
make
it's
it
little
hard. You make it hard. It's not hard. You making it hard.
Well, okay, okay.
Grab her by the
Laundry
hand. Grab her
everywhere,
by the hand.
crumbs on
Bring
the.
her here. Sit her down on your lap. What's going on? What's happening with you? Tell me what you really think.
Tell me what you want.
Should be all right. What's hard about this? Give me an example. I'm waiting.
Oh no, I'm just saying like, and it'd be the pettiest thing.
So
But
it's
like
not hard.
clothes.
It's just petty. You just being petty. Let me teach you how not to be petty. Let me teach you how to
Here we
focus
go.
on not the things that you complaining about, but let me help you to understand that you need to be focusing 99% of your time on the things that you like about the person. You don't have
Yeah,
time to
no,
be
no, no.
petty.
I agree with you. But it takes time for you to realize, like, you know what, the
No, it
things
don't.
that I was stuck on
You just have to
for
establish it
some
from the
people.
very beginning.
Well, but most people don't, and you have to work through that to get to the point where, okay, you know what, it's not that important. What I thought was a big deal is really not a big deal.
Which
It's
is
a
why
waste
you
of my
need to be
time.
coached up before you ever even get into it in the first place. So I can help you. You wasted a bunch of
Put out.
time fighting and trying to struggle love through and go through all of the problems and the issues and all of that. You wasted all of this time when you could have bypassed all of that and been living in bliss. It's unfortunate. Anybody
It
that
is. So
tells me that marriage is work, I know that they've been wasting a lot of time.
well, go ahead and put that course out.
No, that's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
You don't want to share the knowledge?
It's not for everybody.
Join the Patreon,
But it
folks.
is easy. It's very, 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 very easy.
Well, before we get to that step, some of us need to find a husband and a wife.
No, they need to get up under my covering, and then I'm gonna groom them, and then they're gonna get themselves together.
It's been how many months I've been up under your covering? No, I'm playing. All these months.
You're not ready. Not yet. You will be though.
Okay, we're
Very
gonna have to have a
soon.
conversation after this. I hope Rita can hear me.
Very soon.
Yeah, after whatever this time end, very soon.
Very soon.
In like 2 minutes.
Like
3
for
minutes.
example, I give you an example.
Okay.
I'll let you do it your way first, so you can suffer. And then you had to come to the conclusion that, okay, this ain't gonna work. And it's funny because I got somebody for you, but I'm not gonna even. Nope. I won't even tell him at all.
I've been suffering
I won't even
for
tell him.
32 years.
I won't even tell him.
Oh, you know how OG calls you Antoine?
And he a good dude, and I was like, nah. I told him, I said, hold on, big dog.
Your husband's coming, Q. Your husband's coming.
Anton playing because Anton been saying
I
this.
swear to God, honest to God, I really do.
We're gonna have a conversation after this.
And I told Rita, I said, nope, I'm not even gonna let him talk to her.
So I can get on the program.
Nope, not yet.
I got
You're not ready
too.
yet. You're not
That's
ready
what I'm
yet.
saying. I'm saying that whatever I need to do to get ready, let me know so I can get ready and be ready and stay ready.
Okay, but Anton, outside of Q, because y'all have your own friendship. I'm not putting anybody on blast. But for the rest of the common folk, you said that people need to be under your coaching. But then again, you say it's
They
not
need
for
to be under my
everyone.
covering.
Excuse me, covering. But then it's not for everyone. So
What's not for everyone?
So you're hand selecting the people that will be under your covering.
Correct.
To help them so that they will become wise.
Yep.
And this is something you're actively doing.
It's not for everybody.
He's so vague.
It's not for everybody.
Oh, God.
It's not for everybody.
It's
listen,
not for everybody,
listen.
but if you
Very
know, you
few
know.
people in this world. Very few people. It's a lot of people that say, they know what they're talking about. Give me one person, one regular everyday person, whether they on internet, whether they on YouTube, anybody that can give you the blueprint of how to be successfully married. And they show it and they live it and they show up in person and they come to your city and you can see them and have conversations with them. Tell me one person who is successfully married that can give you the blueprint on how to be that way. There is nobody. Everybody got an opinion. Some people sound better than others, but very few people can actually give you the game on what it takes in order to be successful.
You got me there. But aside from that, Anton, I'm gonna have to email you on some business.
Yeah, send me an email.
So, yeah. You said, is it Anton Daniels 413 at Gmail?
Yep.
Okay. Got you.
Yep. I'm about to. You know what I'm about to do right now?
Oh Lord, I'm afraid to ask.
I'm honest to God. Rita, hold on.
You're muted, Anton.
Yeah, because I yelled because she in the bathroom playing music. Let me call her. Oh my goodness.
I'm from Houston, so I have.
Hey, I'm
love
calling
my
for you.
Houston
Are you
people.
busy? I'm asking you to come
Hello?
here. I'm on the live.
Are you live in Houston?
I used to
All right.
I grew up in like the Beltway 8, Bissonnette Beachhead area, and eventually we got it to the Mission Bend, Richmond area. That's where my family's at now.
Where did you just come from? Where you go? You went to the post office. You got dressed, went to the post office. You came back and you changed into what?
Tell Rita I'm mad at her.
Don't be mad at her. You changed into what?
Nah,
What do
me
you
and
have on
Rita
right now?
supposed. Rita, I'm mad
You
at you,
changed back
Rita.
into your nightgown, right? Because you about to get busted down.
I'm in my nightgown too. I'm about to go to sleep though.
She came in and she changed and she's doing what she's doing and she's waiting for me to get off the live stream so we can do what we do.
Tell Rita I'm mad at her.
Tell Rita I ain't mad at her. I'm mad at you, Anton, for keeping all of this wealth of information to yourself. That's very selfish. That's not
Mm-hmm.
looking in for the community.
You said you was already married. You don't need my advice, right?
That's not for me. I care about my
She's
sister.
talking about her 35-year-old friends that don't want to that want rich men and big schlongs and this and that's unrealistic. That's what she's talking about.
I'm trying to figure out how I can give even more of my life to the people and show them what's going on. Oh well.
You do that in the Patreon. I think like
Yeah, I got a
being on
video that
YouTube.
shows even more today,
But I think also there should be something where you can discuss like regarding. I was in the Patreon, the Discord today, and I told Natasha to make a relationship tab because I'm curious to
they can.
hear.
You
No, she did. She made it. So I'm curious to know what people are doing dating wise, what marriage people are doing currently, if any issues and stuff like that, because I feel like it's very good to know. But for your standpoint, I think it's definitely good if you, I don't know, classes or whatever, or you drop videos in the Discord, in the Patreon
yeah, maybe
regarding
I'll do that.
what can help men and what can help women. Right, because but it's a little different. You were married 20 something years ago, but now it's a little difficult. So some of us were saying it's hard to get out there, and I think me and another girl was talking about it. It's hard to even get out there.
I'll
And I
live
think that's
stream
my
one.
problem.
I'll live stream it if y'all want me to. Like in
Yeah,
the
do that.
Patreon specifically.
You
Yeah.
should do that. Because part of the thing that I hear is like, well, you've been out of the game for so many years, so you don't know how it is out there.
Let me tell you
But
something.
my rebuttal
I know
rebuttal
more.
to that is I know who quality people are though.
Listen, I am out every single day.
I think what they mean you out the dating game.
I know what
You
they're
might be
saying.
talking to these.
I know what they're saying. Yeah. Nothing. I'm gonna be quiet. All right, well, I guess that's that. Y'all all right over there?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
finna
this
call
has
you
been
as soon as we
fun.
hop
Miss
on.
Pop, ain't you married, Miss Pop?
Yes, I am married, but
So why you need
but you know
advice? So listen, think about
no,
it.
I don't need it.
No,
Wait
no,
a
no, no,
minute.
no, no,
I
no, no.
don't
You
need
didn't hear me. You didn't hear what I was about to say. Why do you need advice for your friends if you already got the blueprint of what it takes in order to be successfully married?
Them women don't
you
listen.
know.
Sir.
Oh, thank you. I
I
think
already
so.
knew
What I've
that.
seen, what I've seen is that, unfortunately, I may say the same thing, but it women receive it differently when it comes from a man.
So tell your husband to teach him.
That's
Oh
so
Lord,
true. Her husband probably not gonna want to deal with them ladies.
he don't want to know. He don't. He's like, oh, you're crazy. He'll. I can't. Ooh. No, that'd be bad. Because my husband is like direct punch gut to the chest, and they not gonna like what he has to say. They not gonna like what he has
You
to
think
say
they're
at
gonna like what
all.
I have to say any differently? I'm direct.
But I think you more nicer to women though. Let's just be honest. You more
Yeah,
direct regarding the men, but how you direct stuff to women, it's nicer.
It's because
yeah.
I
I think
love
you
my
have the.
people. I love my ladies. Y'all dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just have a you have a way. of where it's like, ooh, but then if you sit back and you think about it, it's like you're right. Like even now, like when you said the whole marriage is hard, and you were like, well, what makes it hard? And I think back to the petty the stuff that I let be an issue when it really wasn't an issue. It's like, I did waste time because I felt like, well, it should go this way and it should, and why should, but it was a waste. Now going through it, I'm like, why was I arguing for stuff that was really so minuscule,
See,
like
I
socks
helped you
on
to
the
see it.
floor,
Now you see the
crumbs
way.
on even though it annoyed me, crumbs on the table, socks on the floor, laundry everywhere, like that. It still wasn't worth it. It's not worth the energy in the argument. And
Yep.
sometimes us women, we have been conditioned, oh, we have to win. We have to compete with men when that's not
The key to your
going to help.
success in your marriage from a woman's perspective is in your humility and your femininity. Y'all not using
Absolutely.
all of the tools that y'all got. He will give you anything.
Absolutely.
Well, let me stop.
Yeah, and no, you no. I'm saying, Anton, you're absolutely correct. Because when I changed, when I wasn't so, when I deal with my issue and change that, it's been completely different. Like I'm happy and I ain't going nowhere. And I see what's going on around me, and I'm like, y'all can have that. I don't want no part in that. So
Yeah, I got y'all. I'm gonna talk about it. Maybe I'll talk a lot more about it in the Patreon, but we'll see what happens. All right, so let's wrap this up. Q, don't ask Rita no questions. I love y'all.
Too late. Too late. Too late.
and also women. But the last thing, and maybe you can speak to this, women dogging out men, it doesn't make your situation better to dog out men. I don't get this. I mean, I understand people are broken and they hurt and they speak out of hurt, but to say certain stuff does not make your situation better.
We can fix that. All women can be fixed.
Well, shoot, just tell me when you tell me the link so I can send it
They all can be
to
fixed.
my
Can you turn
girlfriends.
also?
Huh?
Can you turn water into wine?
Maybe.
You saying that's like what's his name last night? All women are harmless. What?
I think that
That
all
is
women can be fixed. I do.
okay.
I mean,
Watch.
Judas was one of the 12.
All women can be fixed.
I mean, I like your positive mindset and mentality. Let's just be realistic. Some of these women don't want to be fixed and they like where they at and what they're doing.
It's not true.
So how
Q.
can
I don't think they like it, Q. I don't think they like it. I think there's a stubbornness, but they don't like it.
I mean, some women like being side chicks. Some women like being hots. Like this culture we're in, they're okay with that role. They're okay messing. Not okay.
All women can
Like,
be fixed.
well, who we calling? Are you calling my future?
Just setting up my day.
Huh?
I'm setting up my day.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Just
this has been amazing. I really thank
Q, are you
you,
jumping on?
Q.
You ain't got
and
nothing to do
Anton.
tonight, do you, Q?
No, I was gonna watch the movie Rookie. You know I don't be doing nothing.
Oh, good. You can be on Fight Club tonight. I might
On vacation?
huh?
You
Actually,
taking-
you know what's so funny? Honestly, Rita and I was talking, and we was like, "Dang, do we want to go somewhere this weekend?" And Rita was like, "I wonder if Q want to go somewhere." So I don't know.
Y'all go on vacation. I'll handle Fight Club. I'll start at Fight Club.
No, we saying you might have to come with us.
What? Is my husband gonna be there?
You might have to come with us. So I don't know. I mean, within the next hour or so, we're gonna determine whether or not we're gonna catch a flight this weekend or not. But we're gonna find out. We'll be in touch with you shortly.
All right. I'm about to call you right after this because I want to know the plan that I need to get on so I can be on the plane to find my husband.
All right.
So we can be doing couple
See,
trips.
there's something great that came from this Lori Harvey conversation. Q is on the road to get her husband. Amen.
Amen. Forget that thought.
All right, listen. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We gonna rock with y'all later. I'll see you at Miss Pop. I'll just call you Miss Pop. Q, I'll call you in a second.
Oh, I thought I was gonna
All
call
right.
you.
All right, you can call me. It don't matter.
Yeah.